again, there's always a delay, and there we go, we're finally live. Gentlemen, hello everybody, Lord Maulington here, man of many words. And today I'm here with Lulu Teala, a FlaVR VTuber, and a VTuber specialises in latest content. Thank you very much for showing up today, Lulu. How's it going?
Hello, everything's going pretty good. Hope you're doing well.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, so I thought for today, guys, I thought I'd just have a bit of a nostalgia session for PlayStation 1 and kind of early 2000s gaming here with Lulu. And then once we're done with that, we might ask you a few questions about flavor and content creation and kind of why you here. I've always been interested in learning a bit more from other VTubers as to kind of weird and obsessed in that way. So I guess to kind of like open up my first question on PlayStation 1 nostalgia. What was the first PlayStation game you ever played, by the way, Lulu?
I think it was actually Final Fantasy VII.
Sorry, can you hear me now? Okay, Nova Casada. Final Fantasy VII. Well, yeah, I don't think Final Fantasy VII was my first. I don't think it was my first PlayStation 1 game. I think mine was Command and Conquer Red Alert. But that's one hell of a game.
Oh, God bless.
Yeah, that's one hell of a game, I guess, to have as like your first ever PlayStation game. What brought you to Final Fantasy VII? How did you get it?
My grandpa actually had it as he bought a PS1 at his house, and that's how I got introduced to it all.
Okay, the classic old granddad thing. It was my dad who got me into the first PlayStation. I got my first PlayStation. I actually remember it quite well. I got it for like my 4th birthday party. Like in America, do you have these like places where you can take kids to where they can kind of like play in a ball pit or that kind of thing?
We used to.
You used
Unfortunately, those have sort of become extinct almost.
Yeah, they've become kind of extinct here as well. But I remember him like delivering it to me in a bloody like, you know, like a present, a square-shaped present. I don't know why I remember it so well. But so my first ever PlayStation game I got was Command & Conquer Red Alert. But the first PlayStation game I ever played was the first Resident Evil game, which I played that as like a 3-year-old in 1996. So I kind of blame playing 18 rated games as the reason for why I'm so fucked up in the head. But yeah, I guess did you ever play like the early Resident Evil games back in the day, or did you have parents who didn't like let you play adult games? Like, how did that work?
If they saw guns, they usually wouldn't let me play it. Unless it was Metal Gear Solid. That was an that was like an example, exemption.
Yeah, exemption. Yeah.
Because it was teaching me about like history and just it was like educational to them, I guess.
Yeah, so I guess I consider myself very fortunate actually. I know a lot of people have stories like that with their family restricting the gaming, but yeah, my mum had like no issues buying me 18 rated games or 18 rated movies either, so I definitely had an interesting childhood. I think it's
game.
Sorry, yeah,
it's like, oh, smoking is bad, and my parents loved that the game says like tells you how smoking is bad, so they let me play it.
Fair enough. I think I think it's crazy as well, isn't it? When we think back to what the graphics looked like in PlayStation 1 games back in the day, I remember as a kid like thinking the PlayStation port of Doom was super realistic and being too scared to play the levels where there's like darkness and stuff hiding in the darkness, right? And then you kind of look back to it now and it's like, I don't know how you ever thought, like had the perspective that was realistic, right?
Yeah, I remember Parasite Eve. I couldn't play it back then because the cinematic scared the crud out of me.
How you doing, buddy? Oh, Parasite. You know, the Parasite Eve series, I never did play that myself. So that somehow managed to like evade my my vision. But I did watch Super Best Friends play that game back in the day. So I only know it as like as a meme way. So I guess which game did you play? You've played Dino Crisis and you've played Resident Evil, right?
I've played Resident Evil 2's remake and Resident Evil 5, but I unfortunately actually haven't touched the PS1 versions. Just in like, I think I touched a demo of it, but
Oh wow!
I
so
will
you
get
haven't
to
played
them eventually.
That's good. Oh, they're so good. I love the. When you play the Resident Evil 2 remake, do you use the classic music, or do you play like the? Did you play it with the remake music?
I think I did it with the remade music.
Yeah, there's just nothing that beats like the old PlayStation 1 music. Did you ever play Croc, Legend of the Gobbos?
Not yet.
Okay, that's on the agenda as well. That was a fantastic game. I think what do you prefer, the PlayStation 1 or the PlayStation 2? I can't quite make up my mind on which console I like best.
It's a hard one, but I think the PS1 just because of the aesthetics. A lot of my favorite games are on the PS2 though.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that quite a lot, and I don't know. I was saying earlier actually before we went live, there's just I can't quite place it, but it seems like after around about the time of the PlayStation 3, gaming I think kind of went like downhill, not just in terms of because of the monetization, but also the kind of I feel like developers back in the day were much more willing to experiment with things, and games had fantastic soundtracks, and they were more bright and colorful and experimental. What do you think about the state of gaming compared to how it was back then?
I've noticed, especially with the PS3, that was the start of like the sepia tone with games. They wanted to make it more gritty. They found it safer to use remasters, remakes, some of those longer developed sequels, I guess. Like you look, I think the PS5 is where, or the PS1 is where GTA 5. No, I'm losing it. PS3 is when GTA 5 happened, and we haven't had a new GTA since.
God, yeah, that's crazy to think about, isn't it? Actually, it's the same thing with the Elder Scrolls series. What has it been? 14 years of GTA and Elder Scrolls. That's crazy. Has there been more time between Skyrim and now than like the first ever Elder Scrolls game and Skyrim? Like, when did the first Elder Scrolls game come out? I wonder. Late 90s? A long time ago. We're very old, Lulu. We're very old people. Let me put this into perspective for you, okay? I think the vast majority of Face Connect fans, like particularly people, there's an awful lot of 20-year-olds, right, in my subscriber base. So basically that means that a lot of people who watch my channel weren't even born at like the end of the PlayStation 2. They were like born when the PlayStation 3 came out, which is crazy, right?
That is insane.
That's absolutely crazy. And then obviously the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One, the Xbox 360, I'm not quite sure would be their like growing up console, I guess, if they did play one. Thank you very much for the $2, Ross buddy.
Yeah, it's weird to think that like Modern Warfare 2 is going to be nostalgic to a lot of people.
Oh my god, yeah. Did you play Modern Warfare 2 on console, or did you have it on PC?
I played it at someone else's house, but it was Modern Warfare 1 that I ended up playing and enjoying more for some reason.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. I enjoyed playing Modern Warfare 1 more than 2 as well. I think, if I recall correctly, didn't 1 have dedicated servers and 2 was matchmaking, was lobbies? Was that right?
I believe so. I think it was peer-to-peer, wasn't it? I can't remember.
God, yeah, crazy to think it's been a long time since Modern Warfare 2, like 16 years, I think. Fucking hell. Almost old enough to drink. What was your favourite PlayStation 1 game, out of curiosity?
It's a hard one to choose. There's a lot of good ones.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? I always hate the question. Like, it's the same thing with anime and stuff. It's like, what's your favourite anime? Well, it kind of depends on like the mood I'm in at the time, because like nostalgia and emotions can affect obviously the impact that games have had on us or animes had on us.
If I had to choose, it would be Legend of Dragoon.
Legend of Dragoon. I've not played that one, but that sounds like some kind of JRPG.
It is. It's a turn-based JRPG. It's kind of like Final Fantasy.
Oh, okay. You know, I never played Final Fantasy Tactics either. Was that any good? I know people like to rave about that game a lot, or didn't you play it either?
Not yet. That's another game I really want to play.
Yeah, there's so many like classic PlayStation 1 games that people are starting to remember more fondly. Particularly like the soundtrack to Croc Legend of the Gobbos had no business going as hard as it did
heck.
at the time as well.
That's one of the things I do love about the PS1 is that the soundtracks especially.
Yeah, that opening to Metal Gear Solid 1, right? Harry Gregson Williams' score. The best is yet to come, right? When Meryl's,
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah, when Meryl's got shot, and the intro scene where he's like,
It took everything in my power not to cry when hearing it in the end of the game on stream. I was like, frick.
yeah, it's so powerful. Oh god, you know, I just remember that scene. It's absolutely shocking at the time as well. I think Metal Gear Solid 1 was like the first big, I think, like cinematic kind of game on the PlayStation 1. It was like watching and playing an action, like a 90s action movie, right?
Yeah, the heads looked like they were
Hey
you were
guys,
moving
good
like
to
a
see you,
Barbie
everybody.
doll head or something, but the voice acting is what sold it, especially back then when voice acting wasn't as good. Like if you've got Mega Man 8, that voice acting is not the best.
Oh, you're absolutely right. I'm glad you mentioned that as well. It's like I still think to this day that the state of like Western dubbing and voice acting is pretty bad, and I think it's because I have like an issue with the anime voices and like the weird anime noises that they make in dubs as well. It's like they speak in a very unnatural kind of way, right? And it just really throws me off.
Gets stilted sometimes because they'll like grunt instead of like
Yeah.
being silent or saying something else. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't play Zenless Zone Zero because I think it's like the worst gacha on the market right now. But I was like I was watching a cutscene of it, of like when they meet the undercover rat cop for the first time, and there's like this cat boy who kind of sounds like Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh my god!
But as he's fighting, he's constantly going, ugh, 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 I'm gonna bring you to justice, and it's like, oh fuck off.
No!
It's like, shut up.
If you want to play like the Japanese dub or whatever, you have to install that.
Yeah. It's like, ooh, yeah, I hate when they do that. But yeah, the voice acting for Metal Gear Solid 1, though, I think is one of like the best dubbed, like one of the best dubs, one of the best castings you've seen in any video game to this day still, I think.
For sure.
Yeah, it's like everything from Liquid Snake and his very, like Cam Clark. I think Cam Clark's Canadian, right? I'm not sure where he's from, but he's doing his like his very posh, like upper class, snarly, you know, English accent. But I think my favorite brother. But I think like Revolver Ocelot is my favorite. I've been trying to like imitate Revolver Ocelot for so long, but I don't know how Patrick Lane does that voice. It's so great. Like just that opening where you see Revolver Ocelot Snake jumps out of the way, you know, on that gunshot scene. And he's like, right, touch that wire and the C4 will blow up along with the old man. Such a delicious voice.
You can actually, before you even start, when you blow that wall up, you can actually shoot Baker. And he'll scream at you when the game over screen pops up and call you an idiot.
I didn't know you could do that. That's incredible. Yeah. Good old Kojima, man. I mean, Kojima is off his meds, but I want whatever it is Kojima has to have his ideas, right? Who do you think's the best character in Metal Gear Solid 1? Is it Snake? Are you a Snake fan? Do you like Raiden?
It's hard. There's a lot of good characters, especially in 1. My head wants to say Otacon. I really liked Otacon.
Yeah, I like Otacon. It's just like one of my Japanese animes. But I quite like. I thought Grey Fox was a great character as well.
Oh yeah, especially if you played Metal Gear 2, the MSX game.
Yeah, I never did play the original Metal Gear games actually. Yeah, so I went.
They're on
into
Steam.
Solid. They're on
It's
Steam.
worth playing 2. Yeah, they actually put them on Steam recently.
Is 2 like a natural continuation from 1? So is it like it'd be best from a story perspective to start with 1, or do they like kind of reboot it?
You could definitely play Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear 1, it's very rudimentary as the first Metal Gear. It's worth a play if you really like Metal Gear, I guess. But 2 is, if you play Metal Gear 2 and then Metal Gear Solid, You could see a lot of things from Metal Gear 2 in Metal Gear Solid. It's crazy.
Yeah, that would make sense, I guess, right? It'd be like the natural progression. I don't know how far apart those games are, but I guess as you develop more sequels, you kind of like build on from what works in the previous one, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's your what would be your favorite boss from Metal Gear Solid 1? Who do you think is the best boss encounter, or maybe just the best boss character?
Shoot, they're all really good. That's the crazy thing about that game is they're all really good.
Yeah.
I want to say Psycho Mantis.
Yeah, Psycho Mantis. Nova Crusader in the chat likes Psycho Mantis as well, right? That crazy thing where you have to put the PlayStation 1 controller port in the Player 2 one in order to beat the boss, otherwise you can read all your moves. That's crazy.
They make use of the vibration function before that fight, and they're like, place your controller on the ground, and I'll move it with my mind, and then you see the controller just shaking and moving a little.
Oh no, that's great. It still blows my mind how they do that to this day. You know, I don't quite know how they do it, but yeah, you don't see like game studios these days trying to have like that kind of interactive fun with the hardware anymore.
Yeah.
I think the only game in recent history I can think of that does that is Doki Doki Literature Club, right? With like the files and stuff. But yeah, we don't see that much anymore, sadly. I don't know why, but in Metal Gear Solid 1 as well, it's quite funny, is that Rex seems to keep roaring as well, like a dinosaur. I don't know why Metal Gear Rex keeps roaring.
It's weird that Kojima likes to make his mechs alive, like the Rays did it in Metal Gear Solid 2. The Gecko's mooed in 4.
Oh yeah, the mooing in Metal Gear
bled.
Solid 4, yeah.
For some reason, they like to make them bleed, like red.
Yeah, God, Metal Gear got progressively weird with each new game, right? It's like one is kind of like an over-the-top 90s action movie that's kind of a bit weird, but you kind of give it a little bit of leeway because of the whole setting. And then with 2, you get bloody the vampire. It's like we've got vampires now. Right, he's sucking blood and shit. And then
he does some like Naruto thing with the shadows to hold you pinned down with his daggers.
Yeah, he's like running on water and stuff, and he's like gets shot in the head and he's still alive, and it's like you got the shadows. It's absolutely insane. And then with 3, you've got like those weird like special forces guys that have each got like weird superpowers and like mutated powers as well, right? Like you've got fear.
They all explode.
And they
explode when you beat them. You could trank them. When they get sleepy, they just explode too.
You've got like the one guy who can control the bees. And then you've got Revolver Ocelot killing all the bees by twirling his revolvers at them.
He just meows to summon his crew.
Meows his crew as well. Meow. And then he has the audacity to mock Snake for his gun as well. I do love that whole gun autism thing though in Metal Gear Solid 3. That was fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, then you've got like the ladder scene as well. What a thrill.
That was surreal. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah, it's like almost like a James Bond movie at that point. It's like ridiculously overdramatic as you climb a ladder. And then by the time before, you've then got like the weird women who have like the personality of like
the B&B core.
The B&B core, yeah. And you got the mooing gecko things, mental.
I am the lightning, the rain transformed.
Yeah, I want to know what Kojima's smoking. I'd like some myself. Yeah, that must be crazy man. But I dig it. I take Kojima's craziness over the kind of bland, soulless remakes that we get these days. Like, you remember back in PlayStation 1 times, you had like an almost unlimited array of weapons that you could all carry on you at once. And then I don't know when it was. Yeah, it's like, I don't know when it was, but these days it's like you're forced to keep a primary and a secondary, right? And it's like...
I hate that so much. I really don't like it. That's one of the things I don't like about modern games is they try to keep things minimalist, I guess, sometimes.
Yeah, but it ends up taking a lot of player choice and agency away, and it becomes really boring as well, particularly when you've got some kind of RPG mechanic where you have to upgrade it. And it's like, well, I'm kind of stuck with this weapon now. I can't swap to something I want to try.
There's always the illusion of choice these days, and back then you had like Chrono Trigger with 13 or 14 endings.
Oh god, yeah. I haven't actually ever played Chrono Trigger before, which is probably sacrilegious, but I did buy it off of Steam, and I need to stream it sometimes.
It's on Steam.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah, I have bought it. I'll do it on stream, but I don't know. I imagine it's a really long game, given it's a JRPG.
Kind of. It's fun. It does have a lot of things from Final Fantasy in it.
Okay, yeah, I know the art is done by. Is Toriyama do the art for Dragon Ball
Yes.
Z as well? Right? Yeah.
I actually just got them. I went to a retro store in Little Tokyo, with a place in LA, and found a physical Famicom cartridge of Dragon Quest 3.
Oh, nice. Oh, I bloody love retro stores.
Oh yeah.
What are the prices like? Is it expensive or is it quite cheap?
I paid like 10 USD for this. It's really cheap.
Yeah, I imagine it's beneficial with the exchange rate at the moment to the yen as well. I imagine that helps with the prices of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you ever play like games like Abe's Odyssey or Rayman for the PlayStation 1?
Yes, Rayman was good. Abe's Odyssey, I want to play that soon.
God, yeah,
I've watched people play it, but I have never played it myself.
Yeah, like Rayman and Abe's Odyssey are those two kind of early platformers that are ridiculously difficult, and it's like as a kid, I think it's like beyond a kid's ability to complete those two games, honestly. Particularly Rayman, it's like it lures you in with all its cartoonishly,
Yes.
childishly, stylistic graphics, and then yeah, the game's absolutely brutal. You have to almost like perfect every your run through and stack up all the continues that you can, otherwise you're going to get like wiped on the last couple of missions. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of those games were hard. The way they was, I feel like maybe for rentals.
Oh, that's an interesting point, actually. Yeah, I forgot back in the day. Yeah, you could like rent the discs, right, from your local video store and let's rent yourself playing games. That takes me back. Yeah, it would always be sad as well, because it'd be like, I remember sometimes actually going to like the old blockbusters.
Oh god, I kind of miss it, but I don't know if it'll do well in the modern age.
I think hasn't Blockbusters essentially become Netflix now, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, kids today, right? Well, I say kids today, they're not kids anymore as well. Like 20-year-olds today won't know the pleasure of going to like a Blockbuster shop back in the day, like renting out a VHS tape and like renting out a PlayStation 1 game. Yeah.
Going with your family to choose the perfect movie or game and buying candy and soda and popcorn and all that good stuff.
Oh god, hell yeah, Lulu, take me back. Take me back. Simpler times. It was a happier time. Now everyone's sad and angry all the time. Where did we go wrong?
I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's because we don't have these bright and colourful PlayStation 1 games anymore.
Yeah, like Rayman, it's gorgeous. The sprite work and animation are insane. Same with Klonoa. Klonoa is definitely one of my favorite PS1 games of all time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's almost like back then people got into game development for the love of the craft, but then also they had like a lot of passion and flair for it as well. There was like a lot of art, like creativity and art and emotion in kind of like the sprite work and like the backgrounds and the models and stuff. Whereas these days, it's honestly, it's probably not the fault of the developers themselves these days. It's more about studios these days just treat games, I think, they treat it as just like, a vessel to make shareholders money. So there's no more like creative spark in there anymore.
Yeah. Like, especially with like management and
yeah.
I hear a lot of problems with certain games, like more controversial games. Like I think it was that new Arkham game, Suicide Squad. I heard that was a lot of the decision with that game was like WB's management and their choices to make it a live service. So they had to get rid of a lot of stuff they already had to make it a live service or something. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, games as a live service is probably like the worst plague to ever hit gaming, right? Because we were kind of talking, hate it so much. We were talking about this a little bit earlier, right? But, back in the day, even with PC games as well, you could buy like an expansion. It would be $10, $15 or something. And it would be a complete, mostly bug-free solid addition to whatever core game you played, right? Like the like the expansions to Half-Life 1, you know, you had Blue Shift and Opposing Force, and then these days
they were like full games.
they were basically full games. Yeah, I actually enjoyed Opposing Force more than the original Half-Life.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, I think Half-Life came out on the PlayStation 2 as well, didn't it?
You did. I remember that. I played the demo for that.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, God, you know, back in the day as well, I remember having a PC that really struggled to run Half-Life. And again, the technology's come so far since then, it's laughable to think about that now. Like,
In your country, did you guys have fast food places giving out like demo discs?
I don't recall us ever having fast food places that gave out demo discs, but we did have PlayStation magazines. I think it was called like PlayStation UK that would release like demos, particularly for the PlayStation 2, right? I imagine you had those as well?
Yeah, we did. But we could also go to like Pizza Hut and get like a demo disc for the PS1. It was crazy.
That's crazy, yeah. But I don't know, maybe I'm not remembering. We might have had stuff like that in Burger King and McDonald's, but I don't remember us having that stuff.
Oh god, when I think of like Burger King, like back in the day, I think of Pokemania.
Oh yeah, Pokemania, hell yeah. Oh my god, that's a memory unlocked. How did you keep like your catalog of PlayStation 1 games? I had one of those like black folders, and it had like these little disc shape, I don't know what you call it, it's like a file with like disc shaped
I did the forbidden thing. I just kept them in a stack next to the PS1.
No way. Oh my god, but they'll get scratched and get covered in dust.
Yeah, it was bad. Didn't know how to take care of things back then.
I mean, we were young, to be honest. We don't really appreciate our stuff much when we're young, right?
Didn't know how good I had it back then.
No, absolutely. I actually had like, I'm pretty sure I had a chipped PlayStation as well back then, so I could play like American and Japanese games on it.
Yeah. My uncle had that.
Yeah, and it's like, the problem is I have grown to appreciate the convenience of like the digital age now. I remember probably like back in the late 2000s, I used to be heavily opposed to like the Steam store and downloading your games digitally. I always wanted like an actual CD that I could physically own. But I do appreciate the convenience of digital now, but it's annoying because you can't do it. You can't really do these things anymore where you can chip consoles, right? And play games from other regions if they're like region locked, sadly.
I remember getting the orange box and it weirded me out that it was just an installation for Steam.
Really? Was it?
I believe so.
That's crazy. Just an installation box of Steam. Yeah, when I bought Half-Life 2, I remember that was like an actual physical like CD that installed the game, but then it prompted you to install Steam. But then yeah, I think I had to connect Half-Life 2 to Steam as well manually, I think.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy to
CD
think.
keys are just a crazy thing in general as well.
Oh, that reminds me, yeah, as well, like back in the day when you were installing things on the PC, you not only had to have the disc, you had to like put in the CD key as well. And then you had like that heart beating moment where you're like, oh god, please CD key work, please work.
And then your friend would like burn a copy and then give it to you and you just use a key gen and hear like the best music of your life.
Oh yeah, bloody hell. God, great times back then as well. I do think social media has like ruined the world because now there's no reason to like go out and like do shit with people anymore. Hey, VZ Gaming. Kellogg's demo discs and PC.
Yeah.
PS1 demos. Oh, okay.
If you say the wrong thing, someone will explode on your opinion for liking it, like the different game that they like.
Mm-hmm. And I guess you could like trust legacy kind of like game review channels, like game review media back then as well. I remember.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I'd always get the PlayStation 2 magazines and you'd be like really excited to see news about when games are coming out and hearing the game reviewer's opinion on it. I remember being really excited for Sims busting out on the PlayStation 2 and Need for Speed Underground as well.
I had a few PlayStation magazines and then Game Informer, and I would like wait for a game from Game Informer that they talked about to come out, and I'd just be like, Game Doko, it just never came out.
Yeah, Game Doko. That's very true, actually. I was looking forward to Resident Evil 4 for a very long time after playing 1, 2, and 3 religiously when they came out. And then I think 4 was delayed, and it became so delayed I kind of forgot that it existed and never played it, sadly.
Oh, God.
Yeah, which is I still haven't played 4, nor have I played the remake of 4 yet either. But that's probably something I have to do at some point.
For a lot of classmates played it on the GameCube.
Oh shit! Yeah. Oh god, the GameCube. How long did that last? That wasn't around for very long, was it?
Can't remember.
Yeah, I can't really remember people talking about the GameCube that much either. I do remember the GameCube had like and it was all on one like tiny CD as well. But it had every single like Zelda game that was made up until that point on one CD. So you had Ocarina of Time,
Wow.
you had Wind Waker, and like all the NES versions of Zelda on one disc, which is fantastic. Actually, speaking of
Didn't know
Zelda,
they did that.
yeah, I can't quite remember what the game was called, but it was like the Master Property Collection. But yeah, are you a big Zelda fan? Did you play like Ocarina of Time?
I've actually recently started playing it just on my own.
How are you finding it so far?
It's amazing. I love it. I really do like it. Especially, I mean, I heard a lot of bad things about the water temple, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, the water. Yeah, I think people really do oversell how bad the water temple is. I'd say something like the forest temple is more difficult than the water temple, or my shadow temple. It's one. I think it's the shadow temple, maybe. But yeah, water temple isn't so bad. Oh, I'll tell you what I do like actually in Ocarina of Time is the what are they called again? Like the Gorgons or the Gordons, those little brown guys in the volcano.
The little rock eaters,
Little
yeah.
rock eaters, they go, ooh, ooh, they're so cute. I love them. I want to take one home with me.
You have to like make sure you didn't get in their way, or they just like knock you off the cliff and they roll.
Yeah, and you take pretty good damage as well, and then you got to climb all the way back up the mountain again, which is annoying. GameCube was 2001 to 6 apparently. God, really? 2001?
I have the GameCube player on mine.
Oh, you do? How about the Dreamcast? You ever played the Dreamcast?
Unfortunately, I didn't, but I did go to a neighbor's a lot and play games from it, like Crazy Taxi, Jet Set Radio.
Hell yeah, Crazy Taxi. God, I don't remember much about Crazy Taxi. All I remember is the guy who'd be like, Crazy Taxi! What a game. And then the soundtrack as well was all like early 2000s punk rock, right?
Sega soundtracks are insane.
They are insane, yeah. Bloody this game's a time capsule. I've started kind of going back to old music from the early 2000s, and I'm kind of looking at it and thinking, like, kids today would find this stuff we like probably like really cringe, but I still love it there. Like,
there's a lot of parallels with was it the Sega? Was it this? Can't remember if it was the Saturn or the Dreamcast. One of those. There's a lot of PS1 games on there.
Oh, it's probably the Dream. I'm leaning towards the Dreamcast, right? Because that also had games like Sonic Adventures, like 1 and 2.
Oh yeah. I know there's like certain things. Like I remember Mega Man 8 on there. You actually got to fight Cutman, and that wasn't on the PS1.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right. Actually, Nova Crusader in the chat here loves Mega Man 8 as well. Did Mega Man 8 have voice acting, or was it still like really weird noises?
It had voice acting. That's the one that said Dr. Wowie.
Aha! Yeah. Okay. I was never a fan of Mega Man myself, but I have a cousin who's 4 years older, and he loved those games. So I'd always watch him play it. Did you?
They can be fun.
They could be fun. They can be. Yeah. Did you have any older siblings that you lived with, or siblings who you shared consoles with?
I have a younger sister. We shared like PS1 games every now and then.
Oh, that's cool. Did you? Yeah, my cousin would like when he was around, he'd like never share. I'd have to sit and just watch him like play it, even if he came over to my place on my console, or if I went over to his, he'd never share with me. Did you share?
The game
with your
had
sister?
multiplayer, or just a demo with multiplayer. Me and my sister would play it. They would just play it a lot.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh, okay. Mega Man 8 came out on the Saturn and the PlayStation as well. Did you ever play Crash Bash?
That's a game I want to play.
A game you want to play? Haven't played it yet. What about any of the Crash Bandicoot games?
I've played pretty much all of them. On stream was the first time I actually played a full playthrough of one. I told myself I wasn't going to, and then I did, and then it hurt.
How did you find it? Did you find it difficult, or did you find it quite easy?
It got really hard later.
It does
got
get
super.
hard later.
infuriating later.
Yeah, it does get really frustrating. Which one of the three is your favorite?
I want to say 2.
I say 2 as well. I think most people do prefer Crash Bandicoot 2, and I'm not sure. I do wonder why that is. Why do you think it is? What do you like about 2 so much?
It might be the level design and the music.
Yeah, I reckon it is the level design and music. I mean, I really enjoyed 3 as well. I enjoyed particularly the bazooka that fires apples.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that makes the game so much easier.
3 had good bosses, especially Dingo Dial.
Oh, Dingo Dial, mate. Yeah, bloody hell, he's from Oz, Australia. He's a very easy boss here, wasn't he? He's like got that little. He had like a rotating barrier of crystals that you had to break and get to the center and ping him. Yeah, I think for the most part, Crash Bandicoot 3 was probably the easiest of the 3 Crash Bandicoots. But then you had that time trial mode, right?
Oh,
which was
geez,
super
yeah.
difficult. Yeah, I never could complete all the time trial modes, so those are super hard.
It was so it was such like a leap in difficulty. They pretty much gave you infinite lives for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I think I'm pretty sure in 2, right? Isn't there? There's normally like 5 rooms a platform. Is it 5?
I believe so.
And the theme is always the same, right? You've got that weird like sewer kind of level, like the eel deal, and then you've got like the prehistoric one, and you've got like the snow level on the bear.
Oh yeah. And then the boulder or the chase, which became like an actual giant polar bear later.
Yeah, I love the music as well to like the chasing ones where it goes da da dum dum da dum dum da dum dum bum 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 boo doo 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 doo.
I remember the first game, the bonuses were like a matter of life and death because that's how you saved the game.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right. Actually, yeah. And you'd always get like pretty sure you'd always get a spare life there as well, right? And Crash had a girlfriend as well, like just random.
Yeah, Tana.
Tanya.
And, they got mad later, and they had to get rid of her.
Why did they get rid of her again? Is it because she was too sexual or something? I don't know. She was pretty
kind of
fun.
that, and she looked too much like I think Pamela Anderson or something.
Oh, I mean, damn. Why not, eh?
They brought her back for 4, and they changed her.
Oh, they did bring her back. I never played Crash 4. Is that Cortex Strikes Back? Or
it's about time.
Oh, it's about time. Yeah. Actually, thinking about that, actually, the voice acting I thought for Crash Bandicoot was pretty good. It had Clancy Brown as Dr. Cortex. I love Clancy Brown. He's a fantastic voice actor, is Clancy Brown. I really liked him as Lex Luthor, and he's Mr. Krabs as well.
Oh yeah, he was.
Sponge boy.
He was a few dragons in Spyro as well.
Was he? I didn't know
yes.
that. That would make a lot of sense. He's around everywhere in the 90s, was Clancy Brown.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what a legend. I think God, yeah, I really miss Spyro as well. I only played the first game. Were there any other Spyro games on the PlayStation, or was there later ones on the PlayStation?
1 to 3.
There were 3. Which is I think it's Year of the Dragon, right? It's the one where you've got to rescue the dragons and stuff. Is that the one?
Yeah, they're in the little eggs.
That's it. Yeah.
The first ones were there in crystals. The first is probably my favorite.
Yeah, the first
one's my favorite. A lot of
people
like the third, I think. But I think I've 100%ed the first one like 12 times, once in Japanese, just for an extra twist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, no, I'm not a furry. However, I do think my affinity for anthropomorphic animals does come from the PlayStation 1, because there seems to be like an awful lot of games back then that had like, cute and cuddly animal mascots, right?
The PS1 had like a battle royale for mascots at one point.
Yeah, did it? What was that called?
I don't know. I remember Blasto was an attempt to be one, but there's a lot of tragedy with Blasto, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think I've definitely not played Blasto, but I did play Guys, right? The one that had Final Fantasy characters. Yeah. That was an incredible game. I think Cloud was overpowered because you could just spam Meteor, right, with Cloud, and then you couldn't like get in close to attack him. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the leap in technology between the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 as well was like probably the biggest tech leap we've ever seen in a generation. I think we've kind of hit a point of stagnation I don't know. What did you think about? What did you think? Like, when did you get your PlayStation 2? Like around about the time it released, or did you get it like a couple years afterwards?
It was a couple years afterwards.
A couple years afterwards, yeah. What's the first PlayStation 2 game you ever played?
I think it was Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, Ratchet and Clank. That's a good one. Oh my god, yeah. People today probably Ratchet and Clank was like all the rage back in the day. I remember, but now it's kind of like as an IP, people don't really talk about it anymore. Didn't they make a remake recently, or somewhat, like a couple years ago?
I think so.
Yeah, Urgeist, God bless the ring. That's it. What was Urgeist actually about? It had Final Fantasy characters in there, but like, what else was in it?
I forget. It was sort of its own thing, and then they had like a little JRPG mode inside of it too.
Yeah, they did. I love that JRPG mode. I only ever rented Urgeist. I didn't actually own it myself. So yeah, I'd like rent it every like other week to try and play.
Same.
Yeah. Yeah, they did have the original characters in Urgeist, yeah. Did you ever play the Kingdom Hearts games?
Yes.
I actually never played the Kingdom Hearts games. Are they any good? I've seen Tenma play them.
I like 2 and Birth by Sleep.
Oh, Birth by Sleep? Is that like a spin-off or the third one?
It's a spin-off. It's like a prequel for the PSP.
Oh, I see.
The first is kind of rough.
It seems kind of, I guess at first glance, it seems kind of weird to like merge Disney and Final Fantasy. But I guess given that anime is kind of inspired from the old Disney cartoons, it does seem to, I guess it does seem to work.
The best person to talk about or to ask about Kingdom Hearts is Raimi.
Oh, does Raimi like Kingdom Hearts, does she?
She's the Kingdom Hearts rat.
The Kingdom
Her
Hearts
design's
rat.
pretty much inspired by Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, is it? Okay, yeah. I'll have to do an interview with Raimi sometime, actually. And yeah, get her to teach me about Kingdom Hearts, maybe.
For me, my came from Final Fantasy. Lulu from 10.
Oh, yes. Actually, I wanted to ask you more questions about Final Fantasy 7 because Final Fantasy 7 probably the most influential game in the Final Fantasy series. I know a lot of people, particularly like, would go back and say 6 is good, but yeah, sorry, you were saying.
love 6. My favorite is 9. I played almost all of them. 7's considered the first AAA game.
Yeah, that would make sense, I guess, right? Yeah, the first AAA game, and it helped that it really took like huge leaps and bounds in the 3D graphics of it at the time. But also as well, again, just an amazing soundtrack to that game.
Oh yeah, for Nobuo Uematsu, I think his name is pronounced.
That's it. Yeah, that's right.
His music's insane.
It is insane, right? There's just a victory jingle as well.
People talk about One Winged Angel, but I think the best final boss theme is definitely Dancing Mad for me. Kefka's theme.
Oh, yeah. I know what you mean. I can barely remember Kefka's theme, but yeah, One Winged Angel where it goes, 7 off. Great. But yeah, I agree with you. Final Fantasy IX is my favorite Final Fantasy as well. It actually, at one point, it was my least favorite because I was kind of thrown off by it kind of reverting back to the old Final Fantasy kind of graphic aesthetic where they're more, again, like small, childish, and more, I guess I call it more kind of artsy in its flavor. It's more it's a more stylized game, and I liked kind of like the more realistic adult, I guess, kind of graphic design in Final Fantasy VIII. But kind of over time as I've gotten older, I really have learned, I really do think 9 is the superior game in terms of, again, story, soundtrack, and the game systems as well.
Yeah, 8 was pretty good. I actually really liked 8. A lot of people give it too much hate.
I really liked 8 as well. I do think that people give it too much hate. I think a lot of that does come from the Spoony One's review of Final Fantasy VIII. Do you know what I'm talking about? Did you watch Spoony's Final Fantasy VIII review?
I don't think so.
No,
I know a lot of complaints were about the draw system and the junction system being overcomplicated.
Yeah, that's exactly it. People were complaining about the draw system and the card system because you could obviously convert the cards into magic as well. But yeah, again, I quite liked it. I thought that was a good game. Why do you think 9 is your favorite Final Fantasy game? What is it about it that appeals to you?
It's one of the definitive fantasy-themed Final Fantasy games. It goes back to the 4-party system.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of references to the old games. There's a spear called Kane's Spear, and Kane was a character from 4.
Ah, okay, yeah. You got the classic Sid reference as well. I think Sid is a classic reference, right? Sid doesn't start
He's in every
7.
game.
He's in every game, right? Yeah, there's always has to be a Sid. I think.
He's like a Sid and a Chocobo and Moogles.
Moogles, yeah, Moogle male. Woo woo, Goopo.
I love those little things.
I love those little things as well. I really like. At some point, whenever I play Final Fantasy 7, I always just like reach that point where I just want to spend like all day in the gold saucer playing around with that shit, right? As well.
Oh, the gold saucer! I remember the theme. It's so close. I'm pretty sure it's inspired by the Disneyland Electric Parade's theme.
Oh, actually, yeah, I can see the resemblance. You might be right with that one. That's interesting. I wonder if we can find any information on it about that.
Huh. I wonder, yeah.
Yeah. Maulington, what was your favorite game of all time? Oh god, that's a really difficult question. I don't know. Whilst I'm thinking about that, how about you, Lulu? Do you have a favorite game of all time?
Dot hack.
Oh, which game? Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Dot hack.
Oh, Dot Hack. Oh, okay. I imagine that's a game based off of the anime.
Yeah. There's like 8 games. But it's like 1 through 4 is one part, or they're all parts of the first game. And then there's like 1 through 4 of the second game. That's all the same game.
God,
So it's like 2 games with 4 parts each.
Oh wow. So that's
You'd have to separately buy the games, and by the time the 4th part for the first game came out, it became super rare, and they didn't print a lot of them.
Bloody hell, Christ. I mean, that's one of the major limitations of that system.
A game
right?
I cherish the most, but I can't recommend it to most people. Because you have to watch the anime, and you have to play all 4 of the first game, then all 3 or 4 of the second game, depending on which versions you get. And to get the actual full war, you have to pre-order the first sequel game and get the disc.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess that's like, again, something I actually forgot about as well, is that back in the PlayStation 1 days, if you had a really big game series, you'd have like 3 or 4 or maybe even more discs, right? That you'd have to...
Yeah. It was a conglomerate.
Yeah. I remember, actually, it's funny, I actually remember this. I don't know why I remember this, but I think it was at the end of disc 2. I think it is at the end of disc 2 of Final Fantasy 7, where you have to fight Hojo. And
oh god, yeah, that was so good.
Yeah, and it's like just after my cousin was like struggling for ages trying to beat Hojo, and he finally beat Hojo, and it was like, you know, now put in disc 3, and I didn't realize at the time that you just have to open like the lid and just put the disc in and then close it. So I thought you had to restart the console. So just after he'd spent hours trying to beat Hojo, I restarted the console before he could save it.
Oh yeah.
He wasn't happy.
Oh god, I'm not a fan of the remakes for Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah, I actually haven't played the remake for 7. Have you touched it?
I'm not going to, unless it's really, really, really cheap on sale. There's a lot of padding and puzzle padding. Yeah. It takes 2 games just to get to the end of disc 1.
Fucking hell. It's really expensive as well, actually. It's like, yeah,
it's like 70 each.
It's like 70 each. That's outrageous. Only Sony would think that kind of like, well, I guess EA Games as well maybe would think that's acceptable. I think
back then you could get a game for like $30 MSRP.
Yeah.
40, 50, 60 hours.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'll only get the 7 remake when all parts are released and it's on some kind of like massive sale, right?
Yeah.
9 was peak. Everybody else thinks 9's peak, which is great. Although
cool.
Ross thinks 8's trash. I wouldn't go as far as to call it trash. I think like the best part of Final Fantasy 8 though is the card game.
Triple Triad.
Triple Triads.
And Final Fantasy 14.
They did. That's my favorite thing in 14.
I didn't know you played 14. That's really cool.
I do. I'm actually on the US servers in Final Fantasy 14 as well. I've moved my character over for EU to US to play with some friends. So yeah,
I'm unfortunately on Balmung because a lot of my friends, they didn't want to play it. I kept telling them to play it for years. One day they just told me, "Hey, we're playing this game. Join Balmung if you want to play it with us." I'm like, "What the heck?"
Yes, Costas, Legend of the Dragoon is a PS1 game. I think it's one of Lulu's favorite games, right, for the PS1, Legend of the Dragoon.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I might actually. Did you say it was on Steam, right?
No, it's not on Steam. You're gonna have to emulate it.
Gonna have to emulate it. No, that's fine. I will play the game. I will buy a legal copy and I will play it on a legal PlayStation 1 and I will stream it legally. Yes, right. That's definitely what we're gonna do. no ROM hacks here, guys. We're
God bless you, Bleem.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if you know about Bleem. They used to sell emulators back in the day for the PS1.
Oh, really? I didn't know that, actually. No, I just use whatever site Reddit recommends.
Sony tried suing them. They lost the lawsuit. Because of that, we can thank Bleem for a lot of the emulation today.
They lost? Interesting. It's good to see the good guys win for a change, because Nintendo likes to sue people for bullshit.
Yeah, I was thinking about, like, you were talking about the full disc of Zelda games. I was thinking like how now you're gonna have to pay like $60 or $30 or $20 for the subscription on the Switch to play just one of them or whatever.
Oh, I see. Okay, I'll actually have to look research into that a little bit more. Actually, I'm interested in that. Yeah, you know, actually with Metal Gear Solid 1, I guess with the Metal Gear Solid series, which Metal Gear Solid do you think is the best one? I'm actually partial to first.
Oh, it's so hard.
Yeah.
I like all of them. People didn't like 2 as much. I love 2. I love the heck out of 2. It's hard. I'm going to say I can't tell if it's either 1 or 3.
1 or 3? I think with Metal Gear Solid 2, yeah, I didn't like the switch over to Raiden, right? They kind of bait and switch you because it looks like you're going to play as Snake as usual. Like, everyone wants to play as Snake.
Yeah.
And then they switch over to some kind of weird femboy that I don't think people appreciated too much with Raiden.
Kojima forced people to like him when Foreign Rising came out.
Yeah. It's really weird as well. It's like, what was going on with Metal Gear Solid 2 and like everybody Raiden meets grabbing his balls and going, "You're a man?" The fuck was that all about?
Like the president even. Another thing Kojima predicted, I guess.
Yeah, it's so funny. But I think in spite of Metal Gear Solid 2's issues, I think, again, the voice acting, particularly for Solidus Snake, is absolutely fantastic.
Solidus was such a good character.
Solidus was a fantastic character, and he had the best theme song as well, right? Like, every time he's on screen, where it's like got that dramatic drum playing when they're shooting at him with the grenade launcher and he gets in the Harrier, right?
They got my eye!
They got my eye! Vamp, go!
I loved Fat Man.
Laugh and grow fat.
He's just a big dude with like a submachine gun on roller skates. And he just plants bomb and talks like a clown.
He's just like drinking like wine from a glass with a straw all the time. He's like a massive obese dude on fucking roller skates. Like, what is his enemy design?
I don't know.
Let's talk for a second actually about like Metal Gear Solid boss design, right? Starting with 1. So with 1, you've got some like random fucking psychic guy who can like control people's minds and deflect bullets and shit. And you need to physically like change the port for your PlayStation controller to beat him. Then you've got Vulcan
God bless
Raven.
you, Yoji Shinkawa.
Yeah, God bless the guy. And then you've got Vulcan Raven, the weird guy with the giant minigun who like talks to ravens and shit, and he's like a shaman or something.
Your blood flows from the east.
Yeah, he's talking like weird shamanistic shit. And then you got him in the, oh yeah, actually no, he's not a tank boss. It's Vulcan in the tank. You fight him twice, right?
Yeah, you throw grenades in his like
open
cockpit.
hatch. Yeah, you throw the grenades in the open thing, and then you're like in a minefield as well or something, right?
Oh yeah, you have to like crawl under to pick him up.
Yeah, and then you've got like Revolver Ocelot, whose whole thing is that he's like a cowboy-aboo, and he really likes revolvers for some reason.
What does he say again? Something like, "I love shoving like a long silver bullet into a well-greased chamber."
Oh god, yeah. What does he say again? I do this at one point. I used to have like Ocelot memorized. He's like, there's nothing that beats the feeling of slamming a long silver bullet into a well-oiled tube or something like that. It's like, oh, okay.
He really likes reloading. He really likes reloading.
He really likes reloading. It's like Ocelot. I don't want to know about your oiled up like tubes and your your silver bullets. Thanks. Well, I'm here to kill you.
I'm just thinking of Awesome Gear again, where he's just like, "This gun is the best gun."
Yeah, this gun is the best gun ever. Oh, really? I'm going to be a boss. What the hell? You like men. You can see into my mind? No. Fuck. God, I haven't seen that cartoon. I haven't seen like the Awesome series cartoon since they first came out on Flash. But I remember that
same.
they're so iconic.
Oh my god, Newgrounds.
Newgrounds, yeah. God, back in the day. And there's did you watch that? I don't know if it was Ego Raptor who did the Final Fantasy VII one, but wasn't there like a Final Fantasy VII one as well where it just ends with like Vincent and Cloud cutting themselves, and then it's like an old man.
I think that was Oni who did that.
Was it Oni who did that one?
Watch out for those pointy bits.
What's that? Not the pointy bits one, but that's a great one as well, right? Where he's touching Tifa's like highly polygonated breasts.
And he falls off and his spiky hair kills
the
hardest boss in the game.
Yeah. Yay. Unfortunately, we can't say that word, but obviously you got Barrett says, I don't mean to sound cynical, but this guy is going to kill us. Yeah, but I think it was Ego Raptor where he's like doing like a parody of Final Fantasy VII, and it ends with like Vincent and no, it's like they're like on the field and they're about to fight a boss, and Tifa's like, "Come on, guys, it's time to fight the boss. It's time to fight the monster." And then Cloud's like, "I am my own monster," and he starts cutting him. He starts cutting himself with the Buster Swords, and then Vincent starts clawing at his own wrists, and then there's like it cuts to like an old man who says to his grandkids, and he goes, "And that's why it's the best game ever."
Now I'm thinking of Dirge of Cerberus.
Oh, I had a friend who is obsessed with Dirge of Cerberus. I never did play it myself as well, but
it wasn't bad, but it wasn't the best.
Was it a third-person shooter, or was it like a...
It was.
Third-person
It was one of the few PS2 games that lets you use mouse and keyboard.
Oh yeah, there was like a... You could use the mouse and keyboard for the PS2, couldn't you? Could you use any mouse and keyboard, or was it like a special accessory?
It worked with mine. I just had a generic USB keyboard at the time and mouse, and that worked.
What was that Metal? Not Metal Gear. What was that Final Fantasy game that had the singer Gact in it? And I think it had like... That was
Dirge of Cerberus, and
It was Dirge of Cerberus. I thought so.
There's another.
Was it
Crisis Core? Is in the other. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gact was in that one. He was literally just a character in it called Genesis.
Yeah, Genesis, that's right. Yeah, just this weird goth guy, right? Where you just go around reading poetry. Is that right?
There's like 3 one-winged angels in that game. That game was crazy.
That game was fucking bad. I have not played that game either, right? But I just saw the cutscenes of it and I was like, what the heck? This is the most Japanese thing I've ever seen.
Limit breaks were slot machines.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of slot machines, what was the Kate Sith? Did you ever use Kate Sith in your party?
Not really. I want to go back and use him though.
Yeah, every time I play, I do like a new run of Final Fantasy VII. I always want to try like characters I never have before, but I do always end up defaulting to Cloud, Sid, and I think Barrett is like my normal setup. I don't know why, I just love those 3 so much.
Sid is the best character in the game.
Oh, I love Sid as well. He's like
sit your ass down and drink your goddamn tea.
Yeah, poor Sid. He's just a grumpy old man. He's mistreated his woman, bless him.
He
because-
was only like, I think 32.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? It's like they do the whole anime thing where if you're like over the age of 30, you're basically like an old man who's nearly dead, right? No hag love in like old anime games, unfortunately. It's like if you're in your early
like a
20s, you're an
smoker.
adult. Yeah. Like a chain smoker, wants to go into space like an astronaut. Oh,
And
yeah.
then his like wife ruined it for him or something. I forget.
I don't think they were married at the time, I think she was like his research assistant, right? And she was in she was like fixing the rocket engine, and he had the choice of going into space or like killing her while she was still in it. He blames her for it. Tragic.
Yeah, that game had pretty good backstories.
Oh god, yeah, you know, actually speaking as well, Ito Oni says Solidus can destroy a Metal Gear with a P90 as well. Yeah, like what?
That is true. He just jumps up and shoots it in the brain.
He does. He just starts like, what the fuck is this P90 shooting? Because each time he shoots it, it explodes as well.
Yeah.
It's a really badass scene though, right? It's like fucking him slow motion as he's like dodging all the bullets and the rockets and shit, and then his weird Dr. Octopus tentacles give him the ability to like fly up in the air as he like spits fire.
Raiden struggles to take out like 20 of them, and it's a big boss fight in Rising, and you have Solidus just jumping up and shooting him, destroying it in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, I love how anime he gets as well when he gets serious, right? And he like extends the muscles in his exosuit. Stupid machines.
Yeah.
It's like his theme starts playing and it's like, woo, let's go, Solidus. At the end of Metal Gear Solid 2, right, you've got that really weird, like an hour and a half long monologue from Snake, I think, where they've got that all these like live action cutscenes and they're talking about like genes and shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of like codec calls, and it's crazy to think about the retrospect of then and now with those those AI codec calls.
Mm-hmm. I know, absolutely. And it's like, actually threw me off at first because you got the colonel calling you, right, saying you need to turn off the console now. And it's like, wait, what? What the fuck?
I hear it's amazing when the famous purple stuffed worm from Flapjaw Space does a raw blink on Harry Carry Rock or something.
Yeah. Like, what in God's name is going on?
And sometimes it's like a random video, like the code. I remember the radar just randomly turns into just footage of some Japanese model just looking at you and smiling.
Oh my god, yeah, that was really creepy. Actually, that was quite unnerving to see that. I was really upset when they replaced David Hayato as the voice of Snake.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think they did it just because I don't know why they did it, honestly. I think it was because Big Boss was getting older, and he did have a different voice actor in 4.
Yeah, I do wonder if it's whether they wanted more star power from Kiefer Sutherland, or if it was like something, I don't know, David Hayter did maybe, because I think I can't remember what game it was, but David, I think as time went on, he started to almost like parody the Snake voice a little bit. I felt
he
like
did.
He went like too hammy, right?
It was like Peace Walker,
Peace
Portable
Walker.
Ops.
Yeah, you're right. I think it was Peace Walker. Yeah. But in, I think like Grey Fox had some really fucking like hardcore lines in 1 where he comes to rescue Snake from Rex, right? What does he say? He says something like, "I'm a prisoner of death." No, I'm a prisoner of war, like a prisoner of death or something. What does he say?
I forget.
Oh, fucking hell, some fucking hardcore lines. It's really sad when Grey Fox died.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got that scene.
He just gets squashed.
Oh, he gets squashed as well. Yeah, it's so sad. It's like that scene where you can point the stinger at him, right? And it's like you can't fire it. And Snake's going, "No, I can't do it."
Yeah.
Snake, are you just going to stand there and watch him die? You can't protect anyone, not even yourself. Snake, we're not tools of the government or anyone else. Fighting was the only thing that I was good at. But at least I always fought for what I believed in. Snake,
Grey Fox
farewell."
was such a tragic character.
He's such a tragic character. And then you get the weird Rex roaring when he squashes him.
Yeah.
Fox!
I love how The reason he has a weakness is because Otacon likes anime.
Yeah, it's just like one of my Japanese animes.
He wanted him to have a flaw like a superhero or something.
Good old weebs. You can always count on a weeb to put in a good failsafe. Did you ever play that Metal Gear Solid 1 special missions, right? Like the VR thing?
I didn't play VR yet. I really want to play that one.
It's really good. Like my favorite thing about that as a kid was that you could play Grey Fox and his ninja with a katana
Oh,
thing.
what the heck?
Yeah.
You can?
Yeah, it's so good as well. It's like really novel as well for a PlayStation 1 game to have like a melee system as well. It's kind of got like the Metal Gear Solid 2 kind of system where you can use the directional sticks to like slice in different angles as well. Like really fucking far ahead of its time, all things considered.
Kojima had that in his plan for a long time then.
Yeah, absolutely. The man is a technological genius.
Even back on the Game Boy Advance, I think that honestly the Boktai games are my favorite Kojima games.
Yes, absolutely. I mean,
but he's like, let's make a vampire game, but let's use the actual real life sunlight to do it. Let's also make it a Western game.
Make it a Western game. Yeah, he just crazy, so much crazy shit, Kojima, right? Like he even had realistic ice physics in Metal Gear Solid 2 as well.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, it's like apparently if you shoot the ice buckets in the tanker in Metal Gear Solid 2, they actually like melt exactly as they would in real life.
Oh my
God. They modeled like actual like ice melting physics in Metal Gear Solid 2 because they could.
That's what I love about these games is there's so much that to this day you could go and find something new about.
That's right. There's so much. That's just kind of is a testament as to how much people actually cared about like making games back then. Is that people would do things that adds nothing to the game, but just because they could, because it's cool and fun, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember in 3, at the end when you shake, I don't know if it was like the general or the president's hand or whatever. If you zoom in with the camera or whatever, you could see Ocelot out the window just pointing at you.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, you could do it like...
It's one of those little secrets, those little eggs that they throw in.
Yeah, they would have like loads of Easter eggs, and you could also like creep shot on people as well, funnily enough, or, like right, when you're using the camera in certain circumstances.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like them do the pervy Japanese thing.
God bless those games.
Actually, I'm pretty sure there's a mission as well in Metal Gear Solid 1, like the Special Missions VR thing, where there's like a giant, like high-definition PlayStation 1 model of like Naomi wearing an office lady's outfit, and she's like,
oh no,
yeah, she's like 50 foot tall in the center of the map, and she's like sat on a chair.
I think I've seen some of that because they do show that off in Metal Gear Solid 2 when the Colonel AI goes crazy.
Yeah, that's right. That's a real thing. You can actually
and it
do
even
that.
Has like changing expressions on her.
Yeah. They spent an awful lot of time and money allowing you to fucking creep shot Naomi on the PlayStation 1, right? You just take a picture of her underwear and shit.
God bless you, Kojima.
God bless you, Kojima. Those Japanese men, they know what we like, man.
I remember in Acid 2, it came with like a little cardboard, like almost like a VR thing. It was like a 3D viewer that you slid your PSP into. It was almost like primordial Google Cardboard.
Oh, really?
But
wow.
There's a lot of like models and bikinis you could just look at in 3D. It was hilarious.
Might have to check that out later. Nice. You know, speaking of like the Final Fantasy VIII card game, I felt like the card game in 9 was a massive disappointment compared to 8.
I didn't like Tetramaster.
Tetramaster. I was going to ask you what the name of it was. Tetramaster. Yeah. One thing I do appreciate though is like the random rule and like the weird plus and card game rules in Triple Triad were like really annoying as well. And like
the reverse or whatever.
Reverse, and like you take whatever card, like you get to keep whatever cards you flip in the game as well, was really annoying.
And you could lose like your best cards to somebody.
God, yeah. And it's like
that card could have been like part of like one of the ultimate weapons or something.
That's exactly right. And it's like you had to play to get like some of the ultimate weapons. You had to play the Queen of Cards, but she had like the random rule and the rule where you
Oh,
couldn't see
yeah.
what you could even see what your cards were. And then at the same time, she'd have like the rule where whatever you take, you keep, and it's like that's fucking annoying. You had to like deliberately lose cards to her as well in order for her to like play more cards. Such
I
a
remember
bullshit
that.
rule. So annoying. Yeah, I'm really glad they brought that into Final Fantasy 14 though. That's basically Final Fantasy 14 is just like a game of outfits and playing Triple Triad for me at the Gold Saucer. I wonder, is 7 like the first game, like PlayStation game, to have like a dedicated minigame session? I wonder.
I remember Digimon World 3 had one. I'm not sure. I think that came out later.
Oh Christ, Digimon World, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Third one has like its own separate card game in it too.
Okay, I remember renting, I think it was the first one. It's like, is it the first one where your Digimon like follows you around and you can like...
Yeah, it's pretty much a V-Pet simulator.
A V-Pet simulator, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's right. God, I love that game. Never did own it myself though, but I remember
If you didn't take care of it right, it would turn into a literal pile of crud.
Yeah, that's it. I was about to say, yeah, about this shit. Yeah, I had an Agumon, and I love that little guy. But he keeps shitting and being miserable. By the way, Digimon or Pokemon, which one do you prefer?
They're both the later, the later or the earlier Pokemon game I like, but Digimon I have a soft spot in my heart for a lot more.
Yeah, I don't see many people talk about Digimon these days. I don't know if I'm just not in the Digimon algorithms. Like, everyone's always on about Pokemon and Pokemon cards.
I actually really liked Frontier. A lot of people don't like Frontier, but I loved that one. Frontier and Tamers were really good.
I enjoyed Tamers. I don't think I watched Frontiers.
Frontier's the one where it's like almost like Kamen Rider or Saint Seiya, where they become the Digimon. They're like these sacred warriors.
Oh, wow. That's kind of weird. Isn't like the Digimon like creatures from another kind of world, right?
Yeah, they get sucked into the digital world, and they have these bar scanners as digivices. They could scan these spirits and become that spirit's Digimon.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So they were very just like humanoid.
Oh, I see. Like, so kind of like not quite furry, but they were like kind of that in between stage of like having animal features if they had them.
Yeah, kind of. It felt very much like Saint Seiya or something.
God, Saint Seiya. God, I haven't seen that in so long. Actually, I have to Google that again later. Actually, to remind myself.
They all look like sacred warriors, or like these like warrior type looking characters, like in armor.
Saint Seiya. Actually, I'm gonna just have to Google that a second. It's really annoying me that I can't picture it. Ah, yeah, there we go. I remember now. Yep. Oh god, I miss this style of anime so much as well, like the classic 90s look.
Old Toei style is precious.
Old Toei style is so precious. I love it so much. I was actually struggling when I was getting my human model. I wasn't sure whether I wanted to go for a more Sailor Moon style or if I wanted to go for something, heavier down this route.
Oh, heck yeah.
Happy with the Sailor Moon style model though. I love...
Looks good. Looks really good.
I remember, did you watch like Sailor Moon and stuff on Cartoon Network or Toonami or whatever it was back in the day?
I never got a chance to. We didn't have Cartoon Network back then.
I see. I didn't have it at my place, but I had it at my nan's place, who would like raise me whilst my mum was at work. And I remember my granddad is like a really old school guy. So when he'd watch me, like when he'd see me watching stuff like the Powerpuff Girls and Sailor Moon, he used to drive him up the wall and he thought I was like gay or something. So he used to give me a lot of shit for it. So he used to have to watch it in secret. Yeah, he wasn't happy when he saw me watching that.
That's how some people were with Powerpuff Girls.
Powerpuff Girls.
You just saw these like cuddly, cute-looking, colorful girls, and they're like, "No, that's a girl show."
Yeah.
My friend wasn't allowed to watch it because it was too girly for his parents.
Oh no, that's
I'm like, but they're superheroes that beat the crud out of monsters.
Yeah, it's such a really good show. It's genuinely a really good show. It's got some great villains in it.
Oh yeah, like the Gangrene Gang.
The Gangrene Gang, yeah, the Amoeba Boys.
The Amoeba Boys,
The Amoeba Boys. I love the Amoeba Boys. Like just useless 1950s like Italian American gangsters.
Love that.
should do a stream talking about the bloody Powerpuff Girls. That'd be great. And then you've got him as well. Him used to actually terrify me because of that voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, him was
He's like a demon or something with like those crab claws.
Yeah, like a Slaneshi demon almost him was, yeah.
I do miss old shows like Courage and Invader Zim.
Oh my god, I was raised on like Courage and Invader Zim, right? I fucking love Invader Zim so much.
Return the slab.
Return the slab. Huh? Return the slab or suffer my curse. What's your offer? Blah, blah, blah.
Eustace. When I was little, I hated him, but as an adult, I kind of understand him a little.
Yeah, as a kid, I hated him as well, right? But like as an adult, I just think he's fucking funny. I love Eustace.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm getting me mallet. Stupid dog, you made me look bad. Ooga booga 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 booga.
Then Muriel will just bash him on the head with like a rolling pin or something.
Pin, yeah. No good edge. Oh, the things I do for love.
Oh my god.
I love the PC actually that PC thing was actually quite ahead of its time because it was like Courage came out when the internet was like a very new and novel thing at the time, and I think it might have even been before like Google existed, you know. But Courage was basically like Google on his PC, right? About how to beat the villain. That's actually that's quite interesting. Like way
like a
ahead
whole
of its time.
database.
Yeah, and it's like you had like a snarky British guy, right? It's the computer.
Oh, that's right.
He's like, oh dear, Courage, you're in a spot of bother, are you? Yes, I'll help you out.
Like AI before AI.
AI before AI, yeah, exactly. Oh, there was an episode when not Ty goes back to the real world, but he turned into his persona. Oh god, yeah. I think Renamon is like the primary sex symbol for furries, right?
It's crazy. It's like that, Rouge, Crystal from Star Fox.
Oh yeah, Crystal, yeah. Gods, degenerates, man, degenerates. I'm not one of them, all right? I'm not one of them, I swear.
Lord.
Oh, there was blood and gore in the Powerpuff Girls. I don't quite remember that. I remember there being like blood from mouth and stuff.
I remember there's a lot of really gross out humor that pushed it to its limits back with like Ren and Stimpy.
Oh yeah, God, Ren and Stimpy, man. Like now when I'm an adult and I understand the references, you look at that show and you think, fucking hell, like how did this get past the censors, honestly?
There's a lot of almost like gore in that show. They're just like pulling things off of people or something. It was gross.
It could get really gross, couldn't it? Yeah, I remember that. And then there's like, I'm pretty sure, if I remember this right, there's also like a lot of references to like rape and stuff as well. And Ren and Stimpy.
Was there? Oh my god.
Yeah, and they're like reference like sexual assault and stuff would be like
I did not know. Muriel's VA passed away. God bless. Rest in peace.
Oh yeah, I'm sad. That's so sad. She's such a lovely. I wonder if Muriel's voice actress was actually Scottish herself. I'd have to look at that later.
Oh, we're getting old and everyone is dying.
Everyone is dying, Lulu. Like most of the. I don't know actually. But yeah, a lot of people in the VTubing these days. Again, they were like 10 years after they were born. 10 years before they were born, these shows came out.
It's crazy to think about.
I know. Where's the time going, man? It's scary to think about that. I keep thinking, like, I keep running into this trap where I think, like, 2000 and the late 90s is, like, 16 years ago, but it's not. It's 26 years ago.
Yeah. The DS is older than some people now.
Oh, my God. Don't tell me that. I didn't even have a DS either. I stopped at the Advance. God, yeah.
GBA had such good games.
Yeah, the technology at the time as well, right? So it's like if you wanted to play Pokemon with your friends, you had to get like the special adapter cable, right?
The link cable.
The link cable, yeah. And it's like the only way to get Alakazam was you had to trade it to someone, and then
I hated that so much.
I fucking hated that so much as well.
Or Gengar.
Oh, for Gengar as well. Christ.
Golem, Gengar, Alakazam, and I think Machamp.
Yeah, I loved using Alakazam was like in my main in my first ever Pokemon game
yeah.
in Pokemon Blue. Yeah, it's like I didn't even know. Like, apparently he's he is the strongest character in like the first generation, but I didn't even know at the
Oh,
time.
wow.
I just liked using him because Psychic seemed to be super effective against everything.
For soft locking myself in the first game.
Yeah, the Ren and Stimpy cartoonist has a very disturbing history. I had heard something about that actually, Nico. I can't quite remember it, but he's like, isn't he some kind of like an actual like pervert or like a degenerate
Oh
or
my
something,
God.
right? Yeah. He's like, I think he's like into CP or something. I don't know.
Oh,
Serious
Jesus
like
Christ.
That. Yeah. Way to ruin your childhood, right? Something like that.
I remember a lot of like jokes went past my head as a kid, and now I'm like, oh wait, so that's what Rocco's Modern Life's choky chicken means. Oh God.
Yeah. Oh no. And there was a reference like that actually in the Powerpuff Girls where they're like going over to a normal family's home for dinner, and they're like talking to like this little girl, and the little girl says like the Powerpuff Girls say to this girl, they say that, oh, we were made in the lab by accident, and then the girl replies, it's okay, I was an accident too.
Oh my God.
It's like fucking hell. Yeah, I think that's actually something that's kind of missing from the 90s as well. I don't know, maybe it's just me being a biased old man, but I think our cartoons in like the 90s are vastly superior to today's cartoons.
It's really hard for me to find an animation that I like these days. I think one of the few that I really enjoyed as of late that was more modern was Infinity Train.
Infinity Train. I'm not familiar with that one, unfortunately.
It was a Cartoon Network show. It unfortunately got canned as a tax write-off.
Oh, that's a shame. I hate it when they do that.
It's worth going to.
Yeah, I think stuff like Courage and Invader Zim in particular are like staples of millennial humor, which probably explains why a lot of us are the way we are. I think one of the characters I really enjoy from Courage is like that Indian doctor guy. It's fucking funny. It's actually kind of true as well. Like, oh, it's nothing to worry about. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Just soak it. It's like, yeah, basically. Every time you go to a doctor, it's like, oh, yeah, it's nothing to worry about. Nothing at all. Just soak it.
Or he did the opposite, where it's like, oh, there's nothing I can do. Nothing at all.
Yeah, and it's like the one time where he can't help, he's like, oh, there's nothing I can do.
There's a big flan guy, like the CEO of the flan company, and he's just a big ball.
God, yeah, you know what? There's some moments from Courage that are like almost like hypnotic or subliminal, because I just remember them on my head. I remember there's like that hypnotizing song from the flan guy, where it's like, I flan to see flan. I flan to see flan. It's just stuck in my head for some reason. I can't get it out. Same thing as well, there's like, they have that episode with like the moving theatre troupe, and he's like saying, how now, brown cow, and this shit just like wakes me up at 2 o'clock in the morning. I just remembering Courage quotes at 2 in the morning.
Or like Ren and Stimpy's Happy Happy Joy Joy.
Happy
how later
Joy,
it just
Joy.
evolves into, I told you I'd shoot, but you didn't believe me. I'm like, no wonder we're so messed up.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, the Asian guys. Oh, which way you going, you fool?
Oh yeah.
It's true. It's true as well. I know a lot of people like that. John Crickfalusi. Yeah, that was, oh my god. Yeah, that was it. He had CP and groomed 16 to 17-year-olds. And
Oh
they were,
my
like,
god.
working for the fucking hell. I mean, you have to be fucked up in the head to make something like Ren and Stimpy, right?
That is true, but still, that's very unfortunate.
Yeah, still very, very unfortunate childhood ruins. Like Invader Zim and the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy was like classic as well.
Oh yeah, Billy and Mandy was so good.
I love that. Like
the boy was named Spurg.
Yeah, like Nurgle's son, right? He was called Spurg, yeah. Can't get away with that these days.
No.
And Billy was basically like Zim, I guess, but like Zim, but even more like stupid and crazy.
Same voice actor, yeah.
Same voice actor, yeah, exactly. Basically,
the fact that as a kid I could relate to Dib.
Yeah, Dib. It's kind of like almost kind of similar to Jimmy Neutron, I guess, like the child boy genius, right, Dib?
He was like a paranoid schizoid who just really liked aliens and Bigfoot.
Yeah, it's like, I love it when he's like interrogating Zim on his first day of school, and he's like, you know, trying to point out all his alien features, and he's like, why is your skin green, Zim? Is that part of your condition as well? And then Zim just gets really sad and goes, yes. And then everyone in the class gets really mad at him.
I'm just a normal human worm, baby.
The filthy humans. And you got
A teacher, Miss Bitters.
Oh god, Miss Bitters was a great
She was so
character.
creepy, but she was hilarious.
She's like fucking evil and otherworldly almost. She wasn't human herself at times.
She did that weird shade thing.
Yeah,
Like she would just like zoom to someone from the shadows.
You're all doomed. Doomed. Okay, recess. Then you've got like...
Remember there's that one part where they were doing the fundraiser or whatever to sell chocolate bars. And they're like, one of the prizes is adhesive medical strips. And then when she comes in to give it to like Zim or Dib or whatever, she's like, well, you win in adhesive medical strips. And it's just the same voice.
Yeah. Oh god, and you've got like what's it called, Gurr as well, right? That just like
A classic.
It's a classic. I think I watched too much Gurr, which probably explains why I'm the way I am now. I'm gonna sing the Doom song now. Doom, 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 doom. It's just like it's random screaming for like no reason.
Just spazzing out on the floor.
Just fucking spazzing out like a maniac for no reason all the time, right?
Turning into a house and just wanting tacos.
I want tacos! Actually, they had a really dark episode of Invader Zim as well, though, didn't they? The one where...
Yes,
Zim,
the organ harvest.
The organ harvest, yeah, where he's got all the meat and shit. That was actually quite disturbing.
I think they got rid of that episode for a good while on Nickelodeon.
Yeah, I think you're right, because that was like that's probably my favorite episode, and it like just disappeared for a long time.
And he's just a massive bulbous pile of slurping organs that come out of his mouth.
It's slurping the organs. Yeah, it gets really big and bloated. I can't remember the ending to that episode, but doesn't Zim like technically win in that episode? Doesn't he like?
He does. He replaces, I think, Dib's stomach with a cow. It's a little squeaky toy that sounded like a cow.
God, that's really dark when you think about it. He's like stealing people's organs and shit, man. Hey,
Replace someone's brain with just a random object.
Christ, yeah. But yeah, I think like Billy from The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy is basically like a combination of like Gurr and Zim, I think. Because Billy has these moments where he's like a blithering idiot, randomly screaming stuff, but then he can get like really serious and dangerous himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your verdict?
And
did you like Chili
Mandy
con
was
Carne?
like an angry, somehow an even angrier Gaz.
Yeah, actually that's a good point. I had made that connection. Yeah, she's like an even more angrier, gothier Gaz. Yeah.
What were you asking? I apologize.
Oh no, sorry, that's my bad. Yeah, what did you think about Chili con Carne as well? No, not Chili con Carne.
That was
Hector con
also
Carne.
really good.
Yeah, they only kind
What
of
was it
recycled General Scar, right?
Evil or Mr. Evil or something. I forgot what it was called.
Yeah, Hector, like the evil something.
It was like Grim and Evil, and then like Billy and Mandy became its own show after.
Yeah, I think unfortunately I don't think the other one made the cut, right? So they cut the other one out and just made
No.
Billy and Mandy. Actually, what's it called? Let's Google it a second. Hector con Carne. What was it called?
I remember he was like a bear with a brain inside his like cavity or like a capsule on the bear's head or something.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it was called Evil con Carne is what it was called.
Oh.
That's right. He was a brain with eyes, and he was like in the in the weird like purple bear. That's it. Yeah, that's a great reference.
There's like
actually in Billy and Mandy.
A sentient organ in the stomach as well.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's right. There was. Yeah, the stomach. Fucking hell.
He's like Pinky in the brain if they were just organs.
Like Crag from Ninja Turtles, but of a fluffy bear. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy that Invader Zim even got made, given that the creator also made Johnny the Homicidal Maniac
Yes.
comics. Oh, whoa, Johnny! I don't know what that is. Johnny the Homicidal Maniac comics.
Well, you, Mr. Bear, you speak lies.
I'll have to check that out. Actually, I didn't know what that is. Oh, damn. What's like the iconic PlayStation 1 games everyone thinks about? You see, you got the Final Fantasy games. You got Metal Gear Solid
Spyro,
1,
Crash.
Spyro, Crash. What else is there?
Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah. What else is there? What else did I play a lot? Oh, Command and Conquer. I guess you had the ports of Command and Conquer. Do you like RTS games, Lulu?
I love them. Command and Conquer, Red Alert 1 and 2, and Tiberian Sun is really good.
Yeah, I never played like the Tiberium.
It's so
ones.
worth it.
Yeah, I didn't play the Tiberium ones until Tiberium Wars 3 came out, basically.
Tiberian Sun is so worth it.
Isn't that the one with like the FMVs and you've got like Michael Bean in it and stuff, like as
I
commander
believe
guy?
so.
Yeah. I watched all the cutscenes. I've not played the game. I'll have to do that sometime. But I really like these like cheesy old FMVs. I think that was like a really charming point of the PlayStation 1. You've got like these low, like 240p, like really pixelated, poorly acted out scenes.
Tekken's definitely, I feel like, is an icon.
Oh yes, Tekken, of course. I was never really a big fan of fighting games, but I did play Tekken 1,
Same.
2, and 3.
Fighting games are hard for me to get into.
Yeah, I never really enjoyed them too much, but I think Tekken 2, maybe? Tekken 2, I think, is the best Tekken, I think, based on what I've played.
I've only played 3, unfortunately.
3 was great. That had Eddie in it, and Eddie was like a broken character. Right? He had that broken moveset all the time, where you just keep doing the floor sweep thing. You couldn't hit him.
Parappa the Rapper, I feel, is a PS1 icon.
Oh,
Ape
yeah.
Escape.
God, Parappa the Rapper was great. I had like 3 different demo discs that all had like Parappa the Rapper demos on them. I never owned the game myself, though, sadly.
Ape Escape was also pretty fun. I feel like that's pretty iconic as well.
Oh, I didn't know Ape Escape was what started on the PlayStation 1. I thought it started with PS2. I remember...
Rayman was a launch title.
Ah, yeah, Rayman. Yeah, we've done Rayman. Abe's Odyssey. I think Abe's Odyssey is an icon. I'm pretty sure a lot of people remember Abe's Odyssey fondly.
Resident Evil. Silent Hill, I believe.
Oh, shit. Silent Hill. Yep. Got so many like iconic IPs actually established on the PlayStation 1.
Yeah, it's really crazy.
I don't know. What's like the most iconic games that are like really generation defining with the current gen? I can't think of that many at the moment, honestly.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like I don't even know these days.
The last one that really like I saw that stood out was Bloodborne on the PS4.
Yeah, basically, other than the Souls games, maybe Nier Automata.
Oh god, yeah.
I really
really
enjoyed
Nier
Automata. Nier Automata is like the first game when it came out at the time. It was like the first game in 10 years that actually made me feel something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Both of those games, both the Nier games, made me cry.
Yeah, I nearly got there with crying with Nier Automata. Like the ending song, right? Like what happens with like 9F and 2B. The ending was really beautiful to Nier Automata, I thought. It's like, did you delete your save file at the end?
Good. I couldn't.
You could do it. I did it. It felt really sad, but I did it. Oh, I felt so bad afterwards.
I think now I'm able to, but
I'm crazy.
I didn't have the strength to do it.
Crazy to think that game's fucking like, what is it, 8 years old as well now as well? 8 years old? 9 years old? How old is that game now?
It's pretty old now. It's scary to think about.
It's scary to think about. Stop going so fast, time. It's crazy.
Oh, I know a PS1 icon, Pepsi Man.
Oh god, Pepsi Man. Yeah, I've seen a playthrough of Pepsi Man. Yeah, that's certainly a game of all time, right?
It's an endless runner, I guess. Or close to one.
Yeah, I know. Twisted Metal. Did you ever play the Twisted Metal games? Twisted Metal. I love those games.
I started, I think when I started streaming, that was like the few games I started with. Besides Dino Crisis.
And Dino Crisis. How could we forget Dino? I wanted to talk to you about Dino Crisis. How the fuck could I forget one of the main games I wanted to talk to you about?
Yeah.
Christ. Right. As we all know, Lulu, there is no Dino Crisis 3. There's only 2 Dino Crisis games. And that Dino Crisis survival game doesn't count either, right? So there's only 2 Dino Crisis games. Which do you prefer? Do you prefer 1 or 2?
I've been waiting to play 2.
2. You think 2's the best one?
I haven't played it yet. I've been waiting to
Oh,
play
you
it,
haven't played
though.
it yet? Okay. Yeah, I think as a kid,
One was pretty good though.
one was very, very good. One is, I think, like the best survival horror game on the PlayStation 1. I think it's better than Resident Evil, honestly.
It was the first game I've ever streamed.
I imagine it probably has an emotional or like a sentimental value to you then?
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's why I'm waiting to play the second, because I'm going to play that on the day I played the first one as like an anniversary, kind of.
Oh, that's a good idea, actually. I'm definitely going to be there to watch that playthrough. I'd love to see you go through Dino Crisis 2 for the first time. Yeah. That should be good.
It's weird. On the Dino Crisis wiki, on certain pages, I'm on the side being recommended.
Oh, really?
It's so weird.
Is that algorithm, or did like someone actually like put that in the wiki?
It's the algorithm. It's like other pages you may want to view, and it links to my wiki page. It's weird.
Oh, that's awesome. Hell yeah. We're gonna have to edit it, but on all Dino Crisis related like wikis and media, we're gonna have to put a link to your channel there.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think do you know who Joshua Strife Hayes is, a YouTuber?
Yes, they're fantastic.
Yeah, I gotta say, he's been doing remakes of his Dino Crisis videos. I was like, that's actually kind
They
of what
shed
inspired
some
this.
good light on Medieval, I think, as well, which is another PS1 icon, another mascot.
God, you know,
I love Medieval to death.
I love Medieval as well. Actually, the first girl I ever had a crush on had like Medieval as well, so I'd go around to her house to play it.
Based.
Yeah, it's like I wasn't there to play Medieval, really. I was there to see her, but I did enjoy the game though, because it's like very rare to find like girls, particularly back then, who enjoyed the consoles, right? Sadly, unfortunately, by the time I grew, so it was like almost like an anime. Basically, she was like a childhood friend of mine literally since I was 4 years old. We went to school together, and I guess we kind of like went separate ways. Kind of at the time when you finish high school, around about that time. And unfortunately, like by the time I'd mustered up the courage to potentially ask her out on a date, she'd already like had a boyfriend and like had a baby. I'm so gutted.
Aww.
I'm so gutted, right? Because she was like my childhood friend, right? She was like the one, like in an anime. She's like the childhood friend that you marry at the end of the route. And I was like, oh no, I've missed my opportunity. I'm so fucking gutted. I've got cucked.
Nah.
I've been cucked. Oh dear. But yeah, that's well, I'll ask you the question again once you've played Dino Crisis 2, but there's like I guess you might have heard about it. There's a divide in the community between whether Dino Crisis 1 or 2 has the best T-Rex.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, I really like the T-Rex in Dino Crisis 1 is kind of creepy, right? He's got like 3D eyes that move around.
He's very foreboding.
Very foreboding. Yeah, you know that scene where he breaks into the he breaks through like the glass as you're grabbing that CD key. Like I remember as a kid that fucking terrified the hell out of me. I was not expecting that to happen, right? Just comes to you straight on there.
Some of the dinosaurs, I think it was the raptors, who just like start continuously bouncing and hitting their heads on the force fields.
Oh yeah, that's right. But you go in that corridor for the first time, right? Where it's like a long empty corridor and the only thing you can hear is like the menacing sound of a raptor growling every now and again. And then you've got like the glass everywhere, and it's like if you've played Resident Evil, you know that it's the kind of glass that something can break through, and like shit like that. When you're like a 5-year-old, right? I'm too scared to go in this room because I don't know when the jump scare's coming.
God, yeah, that's stuff like that is why Parasite Eve terrified me.
I definitely have to play Parasite Eve because that game does look really interesting. It's got like very weird game mechanics, right?
It's one of my favorite PS1 games. It almost made me cry on stream just because it was such a good game. You don't see games that good anymore.
No,
it just gave me a certain feeling.
Yeah, you don't, sadly. It's like a mix of a kind of like a JRPG and a third-person shooter, which is interesting.
Yes. And 2, I played it a bit. I got mad at it, so I stopped playing it.
Yeah. I guess, it's getting a little bit late my time, so let's move on over to let's ask you some questions actually about
Okay.
flavor and about, I guess, your content creation journey as a VTuber. So, Lulu, what got you interested in VTubing in the first place? Why are you here?
I watched a good bit of like Pippa and Kuregioli. Then later just most of FaZe. And what actually got me to do VTubing was I would stream a lot of games with my friends on Discord.
Yep.
And beating those games and watching them, having an audience and beating those games with them, having people cheer me on, just having more people be part of that experience with that game. It felt different, and I wanted more of that.
It's a good feeling, right? Yeah, I know where you're coming from. What was it about FaZe Connect and Pippa in particular that kind of drew you in, do you think? Like, why do you like them so much?
Just Pippa's nature, I guess. You didn't, especially at the time, you didn't really see that. She's just hilarious in general. Some things you really could relate.
Yeah, I know.
Just her content in general, I guess.
Yeah, I know what you're referring to, right? It's like, I think lots of people take different things, like people take many different things away from Pippa. Like, I made a joke before that the Capipalists are on a spectrum, right? It's like the joke is like the autistic spectrum. There's like a really huge spectrum of Pippa enjoyers, but I think kind of like the main core of people who really enjoy Pippa are like attracted to, I guess, kind of like to how relatable and kind of like how natural and genuine she is. Whether you agree with what she's saying or not, or whether like some of the things she says or her attitudes annoy like people at times, but it's like
the thing where she said that Dot Hack is just as bad as Sword Art. I have to disagree with that.
Yeah, she as a theatre kid as well. I find her theatre kid rant really funny, but at the same time, it's like fuck off, Pippa. Theatre's fun, all right? They go on the rant about how theatre kids.
Hey, wasn't she like a band kid?
Was she a band kid? I'm not actually sure about that one.
I remember she was like a band kid, and as a choir kid, I kind of giggled at that.
Yeah, fucking band geeks, man. Don't give me shit for being a theatre kid if you're a band geek. Hypocrite. Yeah, I think like that genuineness, how genuine and how relatable Pippa is, like attracts a lot of people to her, because a big part of VTubing, I think that attracts people is the kind of like that separation from there being like a character and like having the model on screen. But even so, I think that there's nothing that just beats that real human connection you can build with someone who's genuine. And I guess even though there's that's so I think some VTubers like try to build that connection with their audiences, but they do it in an inauthentic way because they just essentially try to, piggyback on whatever's popular at the moment. Whereas Pippa, I think Pippa sometimes like deliberately tries to be a hipster, but you could always tell that if she's genuinely interested in something, then she wants to share it, right? So that's quite relatable, I think. That's
another reason I do what I do. Like PS1, I don't want to be tied to flavor of the month. I don't want to do the next best thing. I don't want to do mod. I don't know. Hard to explain. Like, I don't want to do what everyone else is doing.
Yeah, I shared the exact same sentiment as well, right? Like when I make videos and stuff, I think I could copy what works from like other video essay channels, but then it feels like I'm just like mooching off of other people's homework and just copying other people, and it doesn't feel like my own thing. I really like
there's a lot of games I don't particularly care much for. Like what was that game? I'm not a fan of Lethal Company. I don't think it's a bad game. I'm just not a fan of that kind of game. And if I played it to just be part of that, like because everyone else is doing it, I just wouldn't be enjoying it. It wouldn't be genuine. I'd have to fake. I feel like I'd have to fake liking it or something. I don't know.
No, that makes sense. And it's like, again, it's really difficult, isn't it, to give off a performance, to have fun, and to be, I guess, like an engaging streamer if you don't genuinely enjoy the thing that you're doing, right? It's really hard to pretend. And I think people as well, people can pick up on that energy, if not consciously, then subconsciously they can tell when you're not interested or having a great time, right? So it's not a good experience for anyone if you just chase trends without actually enjoying what you're doing.
Yeah, and it's like if I play a PS1 game I don't like, I'll just straight up be like, oh, this game's kind of crap. I do not expect another stream of this.
Yeah. If you haven't already, actually, one game you should play, it's a PlayStation 2 game, is Theme Park World, I think it's called. Theme Park World, I think it's called. It's really fucking good.
Have to look into it.
It's a park sim. Really good game. I recommend at some point you playing that. But anyway, so so again, like many of us here, in particular, fan of Pippa, fan of Phase Connect. But what made you decide to go the route of FlaVR for like your kind of branding and debut?
A friend actually introduced, or he showed me a stream of Pippa, and then he's the one who got me into VTubing in general. I actually started like later when I was like really into VTubers, like especially just like Phase. I actually started later watching FlaVR, and then I showed my friend some of the FlaVR clips, like Raimi's clips and Broamay's clips, and he's like, maybe you should try joining FlaVR. I was like, that's crazy. There's not enough. I don't know. I feel like I was like, I don't know. Everyone has already adopted the other ones. I know you could be the same one, but I don't know. But I realized because I already had the name Lulu Teala, and it did have like, it was like tea themed.
Yeah.
Tea in my name, and I had the gold tea leaf on my ear. I was like, you know what? Maybe I should give it a try, anyways.
Yeah, it's a great name. It's it fits the theme of FlaVR, and as well, it's not kind of like alien to the culture as well. I don't know. It's like, yeah, from my own perspective, I don't know. I thought of the name Lord Maulington, and it like literally took me 15 seconds to think of that name, and then sometimes I kind of look back and think maybe I should have done. Maybe I should have put more thought into it and done something else. But yeah, I like the name Lulu Teala. Fits FlaVR very well, and it kind of fits in the industry. So I think it's a good choice. So
it rolls off the tongue nice. I chose Lulu just because I like Final Fantasy. I like Lulu from Final Fantasy X. A lot of my design comes from her.
You see,
I have magic theming because of that.
I did wonder what the Lulu was in reference to. I was wondering if it was Final Fantasy X. Yeah, we need to get you an outfit.
I like green tea. That's why I'm a green T-Rex, because I like tea.
Oh, you like? I guess I'm not a big fan of tea or coffee, but I think green tea is the least offensive tea I've ever had. Just like a very herbal kind of hot water tasting thing, really. Yeah, we need to get you an outfit where we cover you in. We need to cover you in bouts for an outfit. We need to get you a bout outfit.
Oh God.
Yeah, they could dress up like Lulu.
That'd be really cool.
Get you bigger assets as well. I mean, your assets are already pretty big. So can you tell us a little bit about, I guess, like how FlaVR works, like as a community? I imagine it's not you don't have to like necessarily commit to it, right? But I guess, yeah, like how does the FlaVR community work?
People sort of just do their own thing.
Yeah,
It's one of the magic of the magic of it is you could do your own thing because it's like a corpo, not corpo. You're not chained down to corpo rules, if that makes sense. Like you don't need to ask permission to stream this game just because it's FlaVR. It's like it's a corpo, non-corpo.
Yeah, I see, that makes sense. Yeah, kind of from what I've seen is that even though it's kind of like you're free to do what you want, a lot of FlaVR people seem to be, I guess they like look out for each other and they're like in each other's communities a lot, right? Like I see again FlaVR people in the chat here, like Nicola and Amanda was here earlier. So I guess that kind of like helps you get into VTubing, I guess, because you're not doing it all by yourself. You're not alone. You've got like people there who are like happy to support you, right?
People like Raimi are super smart and super knowledgeable about the VTubing sphere or the niche or whatever you want to call it. I don't want to call it a community, but
yeah. FlaVR love. Well said, Ross. FlaVR love.
Yeah. FlaVR love. That is why I wanted to be part of FlaVR, because I love FlaVR.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's great as well, isn't it? It's kind of surreal to join something that you were an observer of for like a long time.
It's really weird to think about. I didn't even think about that until now.
Yeah, it's crazy to me to think about. I've been watching VTubers for a very long time. It's weird to think I've been watching Phase Connect for years, and then it's like when I started content creation myself, I've now got like Phase Connect VTubers commenting on my videos and stuff as well, right? And it's like fucking hell. I'm like speaking to people I've been just watching for so long, and now I am one. I am a content creator.
It is crazy to think about it. It's been a year almost, but I still think about like, wow, I'm a VTuber. What the heck?
Yeah, it's like
I didn't think like 2 years ago I would even be a VTuber. My friend asked 2 years ago, and I said, there's no chance in hell. Here I am now.
Yeah, it's like it just happened to me like overnight. I'd never thought of being a content creator before myself, and then I hit my 30th birthday party, and like 2 weeks after my 30th, I had like a sudden onset midlife crisis, and I was like, right, I need to be a VTuber. Like, is that kind of how it worked for you? Did it just like happen suddenly, or was it something that had been building up to you for quite a while?
No, it happened kind of suddenly. Like I something happened in my life that was pretty tragic, and I needed something to take my mind off of it.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, I think that's the story with a lot of people, particularly like VTuber content creators, is that they kind of do this thing as it serves as like a project that they can get busy with, and it kind of like distracts
it was a
them.
big passion project. It took like a year to get everything done.
Yeah, and it keeps you like busy, distracts you from whatever like psychological like troubles you're going through in your normie life, right?
VTubing has been one of the most positive things I've ever had in my life. It's one of the best outlets for me.
Yeah, I'm happy to hear that actually. That's kind of why I get a bit like annoyed sometimes, I think, when people, even people in this space, like even 4chan schizos sometimes like just dismiss VTubing as this silly, weird, like cringe industry of like retards doing retarded shit. But I think that actually this industry, this form of content creation generally does like an awful lot of good for people, and like developing themselves professionally, or helping them get over like trauma or like psychological issues. Because when you do this stuff for a long time as well, it makes you much more comfortable with like public speaking and like interacting with people.
It got so much confidence with just stuff in general. It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. It teaches people how to be essentially more capable, like responsible adults, right?
Because it's like with this, I'm like, now I'm my own leader, and it feels really weird.
Yeah, yeah, but no, good for you, absolutely. Yeah, I always love. This is exactly why I love interviewing people about this stuff. It's because I just love hearing these answers. It's like, yeah, it's great to see it. It's great to see when like other people get it, right? Like they get VTubing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's particularly
Another reason I did join FlaVR was because I wanted to have that idol experience without being an idol. I don't think I'd ever be able to fit into a corpo for one reason or another. And FlaVR does just that for me.
Yeah, especially with the way a lot of corporations are going at the moment. It seems like particularly the smaller ones have always got some kind of like yeah. It's like
rest in peace, Pixel
Rest in peace, Pixel Link. I mean, rest in peace, bloody Prism Project, Production Kawaii. Fucking god, they're all going the way of the dodo, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, at one point I thought about joining a VTuber corporation as well, but I mean, like, I guess given how much kind of like bullshit that goes on from being a contract streamer, I actually quite enjoy and treasure my independence now, being able to do what I want. Yeah.
I don't know if I'd be able to play a lot of the games I do in a corpo. They might even be like, oh no, your duck station thing, that's totally illegal and not emulation at all.
Yeah.
We don't allow that at all.
Yeah, totally legal, guys. Totally legal. FlaVR is surprisingly good at keeping things going. Yeah, well said, Sensei Core. I agree. FlaVR strong, says Nicola. Yep.
Everyone in FlaVR seems to they fit their theme really well.
Yeah, they do.
Like Broa May's a nurse. Raimi's a basement rat.
Basement rat, yeah.
I'm a dinosaur and I play fossils.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. Yeah, that's true. A dinosaur that plays fossil games. Oh, Christ, that's so depressing. Oh, no, Lulu, we're too old. What are, I guess you're a hag, but what's like I wonder what a male version of a hag is. Would you call it a mag? What am I?
Not sure. I know there's like geezer, or I don't know.
A geezer, I guess. I'm a geezer. Hag and geezer. So like, how does one become like an official member of FlaVR then? How's that process work?
People just join.
You just join up and say, can I join FlaVR? And they're like, okay.
People just tend to throw the tag on and just adopt what they want to, and people.
Oh, you just slap the flag on? Okay.
I believe so. I did ask for graces. Like I did like try to see if people wanted me in the first place. Like some people like just said go for it. Got drunk on New Year's and asked Pippa directly. She somehow just saw the random message in her stream and said go for it. FlaVR's for everyone.
Oh, did she? That's good of her. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, given the particular Pippa can be quite bad sometimes, even reading super chats. It's great that she caught that.
Yeah.
Good on you as well, actually, for having the courage to do that.
It wasn't courage, it was just pure alcohol.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, good thing you had the alcohol to help you do that, right? Like, I could.
Then I woke up the next morning hungover and was like, was that a dream or did I actually do that? Oh, frick.
Yeah, I have a lot of those moments where I do something and then it's like I leave it to the next day, and then the next day I think, oh fuck, why did I do that?
Haven't been hungover since.
Yeah.
Actually, I did get hungover. There's another thing is I used to drink a lot. Not like alcoholic levels, but I drank a good bit. Now I'm like, do I want to drink? No, I'm not going to feel good. I have to stream tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I understand. I mean, I've always
So
been
that level
teetotal.
of autism has saved me from myself.
Saves you from making bad decisions, right? Yeah. Alcohol can, turn even the most like sensible and gentlemanly of people into complete degenerates. So, but it can also give you the courage to do stuff that you wouldn't otherwise do, like in the case of asking Pippa for permission to be FlaVR. So, not all bad, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Sansoka says, I like that everybody can be doing wildly different things, but FlaVR still feels like an actual group.
Yes, it does.
It does, yeah. I think even though you guys do your own thing, you do have, I think, like a culture. You know, have like almost like a kind of connecting culture of creativity. Like you're all very independent people. You aren't cookie cutter. It's like you all tend to do things that genuinely interest you, even if it's not particularly like meta, right? Or if it's not the popular thing to do. And it's why I always like following FlaVR VTubers. It's because you're all like wildly different, interesting people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So kind of when you became a member of FlaVR, did like any of the other FlaVR members kind of like reach out to you and like see how you go and see like who you are, what you're about, or did you kind of like reach out to them?
Yeah, good people did. I remember with my first stream, people like Raimi showed up and wished me good wishes and stuff like that. And
Oh, that's nice of her.
I was like, heck yeah, that was really nice.
Yeah, Raimi seems to be like a really nice person. Yeah.
Raimi's cool. Super
Raimi's
smart
cool.
with the streaming stuff, and probably one of the most knowledgeable with VTubing and stuff like that.
Yeah, Raimi love. I always see like Raimi everywhere. She's a busy bee, Raimi.
Mm-hmm.
Although she has from what I can gather, she has a very terrible sleep schedule. Bless her.
Yes, her sleep comas happen.
Yeah.
Everyone in FlaVR does have like a big passion and love and knowledge for other VTubers, especially like Pippa.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like most of us are just huge fans of the Bun Mother.
Yeah, exactly. I can imagine, right? I mean, I think that's the kind of FlaVR is like one of my favorite things that's just ever happened in VTubing like period. And kind of like as I said before, the thing that immediately sticks out with FlaVR and the people who gravitate towards FlaVR is that they are unique and like creative and interesting individuals. So yeah, I do love like the footprint that FlaVR's left in VTubing, and so eventually at some point this year I will finally get that bloody FlaVR documentary open. And
Oh my gosh.
because yeah, I don't want people to forget like FlaVR, because I think it's something that's really worth preserving in the history of VTubing.
It's something
Good
that
night,
shouldn't
Nostlagia. Good night, buddy.
should never existed, but it does. It's like it was just supposed to be a joke, and it's became real as a joke, and then it became real for real.
Well, I see people refer it to as like a shit post that like became
Yes.
like a shit post that became like something it shouldn't have been. But I disagree. I wouldn't call FlaVR a shit post. I always thought it was a good post, right? I wouldn't call FlaVR a shit post. It's always been a good post. But
That
yeah,
original creation stream was just fun. She just did it for fun.
I mean, it's great. Yeah, it really showed off like again like how deeply Pippa understands VTubing and how creative she really is when she wants to be. Yeah, but I mean, FlaVR, you guys, right? You guys have like outlasted a great many VTuber corporations, right? When all the
This is true.
yeah, when all the small corporations are dead, you guys are still going to be going strong, like even stronger. You're going to outlive Niji Sanji at this rate. I think you guys are.
Maybe not having a manager is the best thing ever.
Yeah,
We really don't have a manager. We're just,
I mean, you're self-employed.
culmination.
Yeah, you're your own managers, right? Cheers, Nicola. I hope you guys enjoyed the FlaVR documentary. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the FlaVR documentary. It's nearly done. Once I've got part 1 of the phase doc done, I think I'm gonna like release FlaVR in between that, and then I'm gonna talk about FlaVR again in part 2. So I hope you guys think I do that justice once it's released.
Heck yeah, I can't wait for it.
Yeah, it's been Christ, I've been working on that now for like 9 months. Yeah, it's like it's just unfortunately burnout is a horrible plague.
That's why I took a break. I just came back from a break, and it I heard burnout creeps up on you when you least expect it. And I didn't ever feel like, I think I'd get close to burnout, but I took it just to take it just in case.
Yeah, I think
being
that's
on break felt wrong.
It does, and that's the thing, right? It feels wrong, but the problem is that if you do push yourself through it without taking that break, then the burnout doesn't go away, and you always feel like terrible, and you don't want to make content anymore.
I've been afraid of burnout. I don't think I felt it, but I didn't want to feel it. I was too scared of feeling it.
Yeah, you don't really notice it. I think like the biggest, like, it's by the time you really realize you've got burnout, it's like at the point where you just trying to make content feels like miserable and you don't want to do it. And that's like when you really realize that you've got burnout. And then, but when you catch it at that stage, it's almost like it's already too late. You really need to go do something maybe else that helps you like distract yourself from it.
I can imagine making videos themselves is even harder, or just can even attribute even more to it. When I made that video for the trade guild, I was like, oh my god, making actual videos is insane.
Yeah, Christ almighty, yeah. It's a kind of one of the things that I really enjoy now. I kind of like, as you can probably relate to, since becoming a content creator myself, I kind of like realize now like what goes on behind like a VTuber and what their weekly schedule looks like. And it's like, yeah, being able to stream, particularly just doing like a mindless yap stream, is almost like the reward from all the other like high effort shit that you do in the background, right?
It can be, depending on the tuba. I'm just a random femcel who sleeps and plays games and just streams.
Yeah. What made you, if you don't mind me asking, kind of what made you think that you were like at that stage of burnout, and what made you kind of feel like you needed to take a break?
I don't think I was like anywhere near burnout, but I did start streaming a lot, and I just took it just as a precaution, I guess.
I see. I think like taking a step back sometimes and just doing something else as well kind of helps the kind of like creative juices, because when you're kind of scrambling to find weekly content, you might fall into that trap of just slapping any old shit together just so you can continue streaming, right?
That was a thing I noticed is when I did come back, I was like, wait, I want to play this game. I want to play this game. Oh shoot, this game looks fun.
Yeah.
I was having dreams during the break of streaming. I was like, what the heck's going on?
Exactly, right. That's my problem as well. So when I do come back from like a session of burnout, and I'm like, oh, I want to make a video on this and this and this and this, and it's like, oh Christ, I'm halfway into one project and I've hit burnout again. Yeah.
Another reason is I needed to do a lot of stuff in real life. Wanted to get rid of like tons of clutter from like my room and everything.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Early spring cleaning.
Yeah, I mean that can be quite cathartic as well, I guess. Christ, yeah. I hate cleaning up so much. I really enjoy cooking, but I hate like cleaning my room and like cleaning up after myself after cooking. I wish I could just like cook and not do anything else.
Gosh.
Yeah. How about you? Do you enjoy cooking?
I love cooking.
What kind of things do you make? What's your favorite like food to cook?
It depends. I make a lot of stuff, but I think some of my favorite foods are Japanese curry. Of course, dino nuggies. I can't not.
Dino nuggies.
I do own up to what I am.
Yeah. Speaking of nostalgia, when I was a kid, I remember I used to watch Courage the Cowardly Dog whilst like eating dino nuggies and
heck yeah,
like dino shaped like spaghetti and tomato sauce that you got in tins as well.
I remember those like little, like they had like those it was like Sonic pasta, but it was just like the ring, like SpaghettiOs pretty much, because they were rings.
That's right. Basically, yeah. I don't know if you have them in the US, but we had like SpaghettiOs, but like shaped like little T-Rexes. Yes. Yeah.
We had a few things like that.
Yeah.
Or like those little dino egg oatmeals and.
Yeah. CPPC text says, I had dino nuggies for lunch, unironically. Hell yeah.
Heck yeah. God bless.
Oh, I think about everybody in FlaVR loves cooking. That would probably make sense, right? Because you're all your like food theme. I do,
Yes.
again, that's something I love about FlaVR is the names are so fucking good. I love some of the names, man.
That's the third reason I liked FlaVR. Like I wanted to join is because like with Pokemon games, every single Pokemon I name after food.
Oh, really? Okay,
Then I
that's
see
interesting.
FlaVR. Everyone has food names. They're like, oh my god, this is perfect.
Nuggy Schlorper, yeah.
Yes.
Niana tends to burn down her kitchen. Yeah, poor Niana, bless her. She's always got something crazy
Oh
going
god. Oh god, yeah. I remember. I'm still thinking about Pippa's ramen stream.
Oh yeah, she can't even crack it. That's the one where she couldn't crack the egg right properly. She missed
Yes.
it. Yeah.
She was like scooping it up into the thing, and she didn't rinse out the soap. Even her dad told her it tasted like soap.
Yeah.
God bless you, Pippa.
Oh my god. I think I remember Pippa saying before, right, that she normally like lives on a diet of like bloody like Wendy's and like fast food all day or something. So yeah, like soda and fast food. It's just mental. See, I used to live like Pippa once, but I was never quite as bad to like eat fast food all day every day.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
It makes me feel sick.
Be expensive as well. I'm surprised she was able to afford that.
Yeah.
That must be.
I do use DoorDash a lot. But
Yeah.
I don't like to eat fast food every day. It's too much for my body to handle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. You'll get a bad stomach. You put on a lot of weight. Yeah, but it's tempting though. It's tempting, especially with how horrible British food is. It's like, yeah, give me some bloody fast food, right? Instead of this British slop. Ugh. Gotta learn to deep fry so you can make your own fast food. Mm-hmm.
I have an air fryer. Someone gifted me an air fryer, and I use it almost like every day.
Oh, I have an air fryer. I've not actually used it for anything yet. Yeah, have you?
The nuggy
what do you do with
machine.
it? The nuggy machine. Yeah. How long does it take to like air fry dino nuggies?
Like I want to say like maybe 10 minutes.
Oh, so it still takes quite a while then to cook it.
A little bit, like 5-10 minutes. Not too bad.
Is it dangerous to use? Is it easy to use the air fryer?
It's easy to use. Just put them in, turn it on, and it's ready to go. It just works.
Oh, no, that makes sense. Kind of, what are you kind of like looking? I guess what's your like? I guess your like your final goals, like your objectives. What would you like to accomplish in VTubing? And then if you accomplish that thing, you could be like, you know what? I'm done now. I'm good. I'm happy with that.
I have a few unobtainable goals.
Oh,
That's probably like getting a waifu cup from my gamer subs.
Oh, that would be lovely. Hell yeah, we got to get guys. We got to get Lulu
really
like waifu
want-
cup. Come on, guys. Sub to Lulu.
I really want a plushie. I love toys. I love games and toys with all my heart. And being a plushie, like being a toy myself, that's like a goal, like a huge goal. I don't think I'll ever achieve it, but I can aspire to it, I guess.
Very based, very based. I love it. A cup and a plushie. That's actually, I would say, I wouldn't say that's unobtainable. And also, I'd say that's actually quite modest goals you've got there. Honestly, quite modest. I was expecting, I don't know, something grander maybe, but then that's good. That's good. I like it though. That's cute. Okay,
And I just like doing what I do. I kind of actually one of the big reasons I do wish I could get bigger, like big, is to show the games I play as the gems they are.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, kind of doing it to like share the love of your content and like the stuff that you kind of enjoy, right?
Because there's a lot of games that people just don't know about, like Iru, a Japanese horror game for the PS1. It's quite a gem of a game that nobody really knows about. Same with Community Palm. It's a JRPG. It's kind of like Zelda as well, but there's also like Harvest Moon mechanics. You don't hear about that game at all.
No, I haven't heard about that game at all either, actually. I'll have to give that a go.
I also want to highlight the really bad, horrible, disgusting games like Rascal.
Rascal? I don't have to Google that. The game just called
It's
Rascal.
one of the worst games I've ever played.
Christ, yeah, I can't remember the last time I played a game that was like truly terrible. I didn't like. I tend to these days. I just go back and play like old games I really enjoyed from way back when. I don't buy many new games anymore. Don't know if you're kind of the same way.
Asked when I will collab with Tyson Foods. I would love that. I don't know if it'll happen, but that would be God bless. That'd be great.
All right, we got to get it done. Come on, guys, we'll get Lulu that collab, man. There are obtainable and humble goals. You can make it happen. I agree. I agree. I think we can definitely help Lulu get a plushie and a waifu cup as well. What color? I guess I'm not really too familiar with the waifu cups. What kind of color cup would you like? What's your favorite color?
Probably just like the teal for the accents of the cup. Or
Yeah,
like
teal would make sense.
Like the cap would probably be like teal, and the accents would probably be like yellow or the pink or magenta I have, or the design itself would be. I would want the skin itself to be colored.
Yeah.
Because the Gamer 9000 flavor has almost my skin tone, and on that container there's already a T-Rex.
Oh wow, really?
And
Awesome.
because it's like the same color as me, it would just fill out my colors really well. It'd be really neat.
I take it the T-Rex is your favorite dinosaur as well, then?
Of course.
I guess it's not really a dinosaur, but my favorite, I guess, creature from that period actually is the Ramphosuchus. I like my aquatic creatures. Either that or the Plesiosaurus. Probably I prefer like the crocodilian kind of, I like ancient dinosaurs. These are really cool.
They're really neat. There was one, I forget what it's called, like Sarcosuchus?
Yes, Sarcosuchus.
Which is the other one?
Yep, that's right.
I love that one.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a big old gator. Huge.
God, yeah, I don't know what it is. I just love gators, especially like big old scary ones. I actually wanted to be like a paleontologist at one point when I was a kid, but then I kind of like, well, paleontology isn't a very like lucrative career. It doesn't pay much.
Yeah,
no job security, sadly.
Going back to the dib thing, I did want to be a paranormal investigator at one point.
Oh, really?
And my grandparents laughed when I told them, and then I realized, maybe I shouldn't. They're really smart and they know what they're talking about. Maybe I shouldn't.
That's really sad. Oh no, we could have had like, I don't know, ghost dinosaur adventures with Lulu Teala. Have your own TV show. Looking for dinosaur ghosts.
I'll let Chris Bores keep that.
Oh yeah, I forgot Chris Bores is doing paranormal shit now. Bloody hell. Oh, I just remember him as like being the irate gamer. Oh, what the heck? This game nearly pissed me off. I don't imagine many people these days even remember what the irate gamer was anymore. I think that's something from our time.
I used to watch him just because I liked that content. Like if there wasn't a new AVGN video, I'd just go watch irate gamers.
Yeah,
I didn't care if he was a ripoff. It was just more of the same, I guess.
Yeah, we all did back then, right? Like I was a Spoony guy, but it's like, yeah, Spoony, Nostalgia Critic, AVGN, irate gamer, like Angry Joe as well back then. Angry Joe's been going over 20 years now. Yeah,
yeah.
All of that, bloody hell. Oh god, that's crazy to think about actually. Yeah, Angry Joe's been going on for 20 years or so now. That's mental.
$20 for blue.
20. What's Tyson Food? I guess Tyson Foods is like some kind of brand who makes like your chicken nuggets, right?
They make a lot of meats. They have like their fresh meats, but they also have like their frozen, like their tendies and their nuggies and those meat hors d'oeuvres, like their wings.
You're making me hungry now. I'm gonna have to go buy some dino nuggies tomorrow.
Heck yeah.
I haven't actually
They would have like seasonal nuggies, like these spooky nuggies, which are like ghost shaped, and they have like heart shaped ones for Valentine's Day.
Ooh, that's cool. I like Halloween. Yeah, Halloween nuggies. That sounds fun.
The heart ones were just called Nuggets of Love.
Nuggets of Love. I guess Craft Foods do, and is Chef Boyardee part of Craft Foods? Are you familiar with Chef Boyardee? Like they do like tinned ravioli.
I love Chef Boyardee.
I love.
That's like my go-to slop.
Yeah.
Especially during COVID.
Because, you know, I can eat like Chef Boyardee stuff just cold straight from the tin. Like I don't bother.
I used to do that so much. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's great, right? I love it. People think I'm
I don't
weird.
think Kraft owns them. Forget who owns them. Might be Conagra.
Oh, good. I hate Kraft Foods. They're ruined. They've bought out a lot of British chocolate places, and they've like just.
Did they?
They have, and they've just drowned everything in palm oil and made all our chocolate shit now.
Oh, for fricks! I actually. I have a guttural reaction with milk chocolate.
Yeah.
It's probably a horrible take, but if I eat milk chocolate, I will gag. It happened on stream once.
Oh
especially
my
with
god. You poor thing.
The Mr. Beast bar.
Oh, well, I mean, that makes sense though, because the Mr. Beast bar is absolute garbage, trash, terrible. Same
Dark
thing with
chocolate,
Hershey's.
I love.
I love dark chocolate as well, you know, funny enough. Based Lulu, dark chocolate is great.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. High cocoa count, man. That's great stuff. I think American chocolate in general like tastes like sick. So yeah, if I was an American, I'd lose so much weight because I'd never eat like chocolate or sugary stuff. It's terrible.
I'd like to try like European chocolate because I don't know if our Cadbury is the same as yours because I think it's a UK thing, is it?
Cadbury's was a UK thing, but it's been bought out by Kraft, and they've like Americanized
for frick's
it.
sake.
Like, yeah, it's full of palm
Very
oil
unfortunate.
now. It's terrible now, and sadly, you'd want to get like Belgian chocolate or something because they're still,
Oh,
yeah, they're still natural chocolatiers.
I'll give them a try.
Chef Boyardee is a brand of canned pasta products owned by Conagra Brands. Awesome, so it's not Kraft, so I can give them money. Good. Yeah, Kraft foods.
I don't think there's many Kraft things I eat. I don't really like Kraft mac and cheese. It's kind of just bland, I guess.
Yeah, you know, we tend to have mac and cheese as more as a dessert here in the UK, like rather than like
Really?
a food. Yeah, it's like a signature dish of mine. Is that instead of like making it with cheese, is that you actually make it in like a bowl full of milk and sugar and butter, and you eat, and it becomes a
what in the
dessert.
world?
It's really good, actually. You should try it.
Never heard of that. I'll give it a try. I'm always willing to try new things.
Yeah, I definitely recommend giving it a try. And what happens is that obviously as the milk is boiling in the oven, it develops like a little skin, basically like a sugary, buttery skin over the
Like
macaroni.
a pudding.
Yeah, like a pudding, exactly.
Huh.
Yeah, I
I'll have
definitely
to try
recommend
it
giving that a
sometime.
try. It's delicious. Yeah, probably really, really fucking bad for you, right? Though, because you put
Yeah.
like a stick of butter in there.
It'll take a while though because I'm averted to sweets in general. I like savory.
Okay, you're more of a savory toothed person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another reason I'm a
sweet tooth
T-Rex.
person. Aha, that makes sense. I see. Yeah, I'm a sweet tooth person. I love sweets myself. Don't
Nice.
give me chocolate buttons. I'll eat the whole bloody bag, and then I'll want more.
My lord. See, I do like sour stuff. Like sour candy is my favorite. I used to eat those sour Skittles till my tongue bled.
Oh my god, did your tongue actually bleed from eating sour sweets?
Yes.
Oh, that's
It happened with
crazy.
we have this candy called like atomic or like nuclear waste candy or
Yes,
something.
I know those. Yeah, I know those.
Those made my tongue bleed because I ate like 5 of them.
Bloody hell. Yeah, 5 of them. I'm not surprised, actually, Lily. That's mental. I mean, I had no more than 2 like in one sitting before. You're crazy. But they
The
are
acid
really
just
good.
makes your tongue. It literally just corroded my tongue, I guess.
God, yeah, they probably like melted the layer of skin off your tongue, bless you. I love sour sweets as well. I really like Sour Patch Kids.
Those are so good. Those are really
nice. Yeah, I only like the green and the yellow ones, though. I hate all the others.
good. I like all of them.
Yeah, I'm one of those fussy people who like only eat like the lime and the lemon flavored sweets and those like sour candies.
Those are good. Also, Sensoka says that they missed the foaming warheads. I was so upset when they got rid of the powder.
Oh no, they lost the powder. It's been a while since I've had them. The powder
They had like
sucks.
powder in them. They used to foam even. Now they don't have nothing. It's just hard candy now. It's lost its soul.
Yeah, things are getting like more the end shitification of everything these days, like games, food, media, movies. Everything's getting ruined. Need to
It's
go
all
back to
become
the
like that
90s.
minimalist, simplistic design. Colors removed. Trix cereal used to be really colorful, and now last time I saw it was just like yellow and almost brown.
Oh, is that cereal with the bunny, Trixie for Kids? That one.
Yeah.
God, yeah, I had that as a kid when I was in America as well. Yeah, that was like had the little marshmallow pieces, right?
Yeah, and a lot of people joke now that the reason we can't see the colors is because we're not kids anymore, and it's so depressing to think about.
Oh no, that's so depressing. Oh, I can't believe they got rid of all the color. That was like the best bit of the cereal. It was like all these brightly colored little
Yes.
marshmallow pieces. Didn't they have dinosaur marshmallow pieces as well? Or am I imagining that?
I forget.
Might have done. Count Chocula isn't even a real vampire anymore. They got rid of Count Chocula.
They have them. I had them. I saw them in stores this October. I actually still have a couple boxes of Frankenberry and Blueberry.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's good. I mean, we don't have any of this stuff in the UK, but such is the power of like American like advertising and branding that we know a lot of like American only shit here in the UK.
Half of our stuff is slop. Like it's actual like artificial slop.
Yeah, you know, one thing I'll say is that American milk tastes really weird relative to like
Does
British
it?
milk. Tastes completely different. It's really strange.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like American milk almost tastes like water to like me.
Really?
Yeah, it's very strange.
Huh.
Same like your mayonnaise as well. Like American mayonnaise tastes like cake mix instead of like mayonnaise to me.
Really?
Yeah, it's really strange. It's like, oh my god, this isn't mayonnaise. This is like a sugary cake mix thing. It's like icing.
That sounds like a Miracle Whip.
Yeah, basically, it's like, oh my god, this isn't mayonnaise. It's Miracle Whip. What the hell? This is supposed to have like a really eggy, sour taste to it.
We have Miracle Whip, and that's really sweet and gross. And it's supposed to be like a mayonnaise, but it's not.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't actually Miracle Whip, but I don't know. I'll have to try Miracle Whip next time I'm in the US. Compare it to like.
I think it's called
mayonnaise.
Miracle Whip.
I'm pretty sure it's like something to do with like the ingredients or chemicals that we put into our stuff is different to you guys.
I can imagine, especially with our like artificial dyes and preservatives. We have so much goo
Yeah,
just slurped into machines.
a lot of goo and slop and chemicals and shit dumped in there. Yeah, whereas we've got higher food standards, but then funnily enough, our food is like bland and worse tasting though. Okay, it's getting about 12:30 in the morning
Oh,
my time
shoot.
now, so yeah, it's quite late. Is there anything else you want to talk about, Lulu? Anything you want to bring up?
Shoot. When it comes to the topic, I always forget what I want to say.
Oh no, I'll give you some time if you want to think about it.
I don't know. Just give your local PS1 game a try, everybody.
Yeah, everybody, make sure to legally. But if you want links to any websites and that particular websites for no reason, Maulington can help you out with that. But yeah, guys, I mean, honestly, the PlayStation 1, fantastic generation of games came out. So many vibrant colors, fantastic graphics, brilliant soundtracks, voice acting. Like some voice acting is
quality
terrible.
audio, baby.
Yeah, some terrible voice acting, but some games had phenomenal like voice acting and music, like Metal Gear Solid 1. Have to give it a try. I think a lot of YouTube, that was popular for a lot of YouTubers not too long ago. A lot of them started playing that. But I'm going to put Lulu's channel in the comment section here. Guys, so make sure you head on over to Lulu's channel and sub to Lulu if you want to see some fantastic PlayStation 1 content. And you want to support your local flavor VTuber. So, yes, Lulu, thank you very much for your time and thank you very much for the collab.
Thank you so much for having me.
That was
Thank
a
you
lot
so
of fun.
much.
Thank you. I'm glad we finally got this collab done. Awesome.
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay, guys, I'm going to be going to bed now. So, actually, are you going to be streaming today, Lulu? Are you going to be streaming later?
No.
No? Okay.
You're probably gonna go to sleep because I didn't get much sleep today.
Oh, okay, but that's it. Yeah, I'll be joining you. Well, I won't be joining you in your bed sleeping, but I will be joining you in sleeping. So, yeah, that's no worries, Lion. No, thank you very much for coming, Lion. I hope you had a good day, and I hope work wasn't too work wasn't too bad for you, Lion. Cheers, buddy. Cheers, guys. Thank you all very much, and thank you, Lulu. I'll speak to you all later. So enjoy the rest of your evening, everybody.
Take care, everybody.
Take care, everybody. Bye bye. I love you.